It's warming up. Okay, we are live. We are live. Hopefully we are actually on the air. I hope so. Someone let us know if we're on the air or not. Hopefully this is all going public. Hope you got your big girl panties on also. Welcome back to the show. This is episode what is it? 314 of the of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast, coming to you live from the Strange Media Studios. Of course, right there we've got Walter Keller. Come on, can we get a little bit of jazz hands from Walter Keller? There goes Babyface P. Come on, Babyface P. And where's Kevin Dixie? I don't know. Kevin Dixie should be joining us soon. He should be joining us soon.
It's cold up there. Maybe he's frozen or something.
Yeah. In St. Louis, it's cold.
St. Louis, yeah.
Yeah, it's cold up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cold everywhere up there.
So, yeah. Kevin Dixie should be joining us soon here to talk about the truth. If you guys haven't seen that video, Kevin Dixie has his own line of firearms coming out.
Make sure you go to the bathroom before you go, because it takes a little bit of time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're gonna get preachified. The Church of the Gun is about to go live here once Kevin Dixie comes in, so just get ready for that. You know, and of course we're gonna be talking. We're gonna continue our conversation yesterday about SHOT Show. I saw that there's some gun control, some extra gun control bills going into effect in New York. Where are those? I'm trying to find where that was. Okay, here we go. Yeah. So we got to talk about that as well. I'll throw this up here, Babyface, if you want to see it. Mm-hmm. I'll throw this up here in the chat and everyone can take a look at it. Put it in the chat for the folks who are watching us.
They're saying we're live, so I guess we're good.
Yeah, we're live. We're live. We're here. So shout out to everyone. Since we've got time, we're waiting for Kevin. I'll go down. I'll try to quickly shout out everyone that's hanging out here with us. Richard Hughes is #1, so he definitely wants me to do some kind of shout outs, you know, to respect his authority. He's #1. Got Chris Williams, also Gregory Bradley. Let's see, Flopping Garbage, Boss Hogs here. Richard Hughes is all up in the comments. Jade Grew, Ridge Runner, as well. Special K, Pixamite, Armament and Axes, also here. Chris Bolus, Brian Wyatt, Brian Nizel says hello, my brothers and sisters. SoCal Gunner, Boss Hogs says, I told my wife she was going to buy me Kevin's gun, and I didn't want to hear no complaints.
Wow.
I hope she's saving up. I hope she's saving up.
I hope she got her shekels all saved up. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, here's a question we got to ask Kevin when he comes on can you buy this gun on installments? Because Lola tells me.
I just thought of something. Oh, I just thought of something bad. I'll save it for when he gets on.
Yeah. Lola says that Colin Noir, who also has a gun out, you can buy his gun on installments. So that's good. That's a good thing.
I'm going to ask you about EBT.
Yeah. Don't start. Don't start. I also heard Maj has a gun. Maj Toure has a gun.
Are you serious?
Yeah. You know, I guess I need to get a gun.
I got a gun too.
I can sense a theme going here.
I got the gun. But the government took it.
I got your gun. I got your gun right here.
Right here.
Who makes Maj Toure's gun? I'm trying to find it.
I don't know. I think it's an AR.
I would assume so. I mean, that only makes sense.
I'll tell you what. This could be my gun. This could be my gun. I'll share that with you guys.
Is it a High Point?
We can, yeah.
Oh, speaking of the High Point, did you go by and see the new High Point?
No.
I did.
You got over there? Okay.
Yeah.
Was it?
Right? That's close to my booth, so. In the main hall, it was pretty close by.
I never made it over there. And this is not a High Point up on here. I'm not even sure what gun that actually is.
They're doing some stuff, you know.
Oh yeah, I like High Point. I'm not against High Point. By the way, make Florida the gunshine state again shirt.
Yes, sir. That's your shirt. Buy them now, folks. Buy them now.
Yeah. Make Florida the gunshine state, people. Bring it back. We need to bring it back to its glory. Let me keep. I see Kevin's coming in. Let me keep going through here and shouting out people. SoCal Gunner, Brick, Psycho 316.
There we go. I was frozen.
Rob Avis. Let's see who else we got. Rob Avis, Imposter. Also here, The Archangel, I Shoot My AK Naked, Tango Hunter, Jason Scherer, James Lawson, Greg 98K, MC1SC, aka Mika, is here. Gunfather, Simpson Road Larry, Gen Z2A, Jay Oatman, Mr. Bullshitter also here. Rodney Brady.
Hey, I got a name if somebody needs one. I got a handle for somebody if they need it.
Okay, what's the Moobut is here? Shout out to Moobut. Let's see, and Kathleen Music Lover as well. If I miss someone, let me know. RTS Guy, Scamp 900. If I miss a Turbo 99 Miata, also here. I can see. Shout out to all those people. What's your name that you have? Excuse me.
Right.
My voice
now
is
this is actually a kind of a. I've seen it used as a prank shot show badge name, and it was Barry McCockiner.
Hold on.
I have seen.
Oh boy,
badge that said Barry McCockiner. Yeah.
Barry McCockiner.
Barry.
of the New Hampshire McCockiners.
I don't know, man. That's
Proud family.
That's why they tightened up the stuff on shot show badges.
I wonder why.
Oh boy. Tacos and French fries. K9 Coach is here. Fresh Fowler also here. Let's see who else. Fearless Orca Tactical here as well. Please, everyone, make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you are, make sure you ring the bell so you get notifications when we're coming on.
I got them started already, man. Jafari H says, Willie, fill her up. All right, let's get serious. Now Kevin's on. Let's get serious.
Don't be serious because of me. Keep doing it.
Yeah. That's no reason to get serious. Of course,
right,
there he goes. We didn't get him. Can we get Mr. Diximus Maximus? Can we get jazz hands from you? Because we didn't get
jazz hands.
Yeah, so don't try to come in late and miss jazz hands.
He's too cool. Too cool for jazz hands.
Lola, close this door. I'm hearing echo. Okay, let's see. And also, I need some water, woman.
Ooh.
Give her a bucket of water. And
yes, now I want water. Before, when you asked if I wanted water, I didn't need it. Now I need it.
Give him a 5-gallon bucket right on his head.
Was that? Did that go out live? Oh, thank you, my darling.
Oh, don't.
You look nice today, by the way. Yeah. I forgot. I need to be nice to Lola because tomorrow's her birthday.
Yep.
What happened?
Tomorrow's her birthday. Yeah, she's turning. How old are you gonna be? 55.
55.
Man, night is not a good night for you.
Tomorrow is really her birthday, so if you guys get a chance, reach out to Lola Strange on all her social medias and tell her happy birthday. So it is genuinely her birthday, and for your birthday, Lola, I'm getting you this thing. What is this? This flag right here. This is a safety flag. Because safety third. Safety third.
That's her birthday present?
Yeah. I know. I splurged a little bit. Went overboard.
Shot show swag for Lola on her birthday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I was trying to get her something while we were out in Vegas, but it was just too crazy and lots of things going on.
Yeah.
Walter.
Excuses.
Damn it, Walter. You got to have my back. Wow. Okay, I guess not. Okay.
All right, so when to hold them.
So Kevin Dixie, you're here. What's up, man? Got home safe? Got home safe from SHOT Show?
Yeah, I'm just, you know what, man? I said tonight was going to be first night I finally get some sleep. I still haven't gotten a chance to go to sleep yet. I'm going to try tonight. But SHOT Show was good. It was a good show. I know you guys were talking about the gadgets and wadgets and gadgets yesterday. But it was a really good show. I thought it was a different feel though this year. I think it was more relaxed. I can't really put my thumb on it. I just felt more
less people.
Yeah, less people. Okay, it could have just been that.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. I also learned that Walt is low key built like a Viking. Yeah, it was. Like last year, he was just some like little guy. This year, I walked up, I had to walk around him to hug him from the back because his chest was all big. And where do you come from, man?
You just got me excited, Kevin. That's all it was. You just got me excited.
Oh man, his chest was like the shirt couldn't even stay buttoned at the top, man. It was just like popping out.
He's like the Zohan. He's like the Jewish hammer or something.
The Jewish hammer? What are you talking about? Okay,
No,
anyway.
I'm sorry. You're not Jewish. You're not Jewish. Right?
I do have. Well, anyways, I'll talk. I have a patch I'm going to do that kind of it touches on that actually. So.
Oh, okay. And so here's the reason why I think Kevin is right that it did seem like there were less people there because SHOT Show was cracking down on fake badges. They were cracking down on fake badges. So I think they were. I think there was the same amount of exhibitors at the actual show itself in the convention center. I think out at Media Day, Kevin, I don't know if you made it to Media Day or not. I can't remember seeing you. Yeah. Okay. It seemed like there were less people there because they scrunched everyone in a little bit more or moved things around. There were some companies that didn't come out to Media Day. It's more expensive and stuff like that. So, but I know there was a crackdown on badges and lots of people had to actually get to SHOT Show to pick up their badges. I don't know if you had to get there to pick up yours, Kevin.
Yeah, when that was part of the thing. Like you had to show up to the one of the various registration points they had around the city, which was cool. Like you could pick them up in the airport, you could pick them up at various hotels, and obviously at the Sands of Venetian. So yeah, I wanted to pick mine up from the Sands. I was there Saturday, so I went I think Saturday evening and picked mine up. But yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, I saw them. They weren't. I mean, the organizers of the event do not play. They shut down a booth while we were there too.
Yeah,
really over what?
Got in trouble.
Yeah,
more than one. More than one.
No, more than one. Oh, see,
selling something probably during the show or some violation.
Yeah, that's the main. They got all uptight about that and the sales tax and all that stuff. So
yeah.
So
and Kevin, I don't know. You're coming in. Your signal's a little bit pixelated. You need to tell the kids to get off the internet.
Oh, here we go.
Somebody is like, somebody is doing FaceTime or something up in your house.
I adjusted the bandwidth a little bit. Is that better?
I don't know. Maybe are you dialing it up or down?
I dialed it down just a little. Sometimes it comes in too hot.
No, your audio's coming in good, but your picture is pixelated. I want to make sure it's all good because I know we're going to get a chance to see the guns.
Yeah.
That's
better.
There
you go. You're coming in better now.
Better now.
Okay. It was my beauty was too close to the camera.
What's the temperature in St. Louis now?
Oh, yeah.
I believe it's like 16 outside. It's pretty cool.
16.
Oh,
look at that face.
Oh,
yeah.
Today was a balmy. What was it, like 65 degrees?
65, yeah.
Your mouth. Right, yeah.
It was nice today, actually. Yeah, it was nice. I was like, wear a t-shirt. Yeah.
Get off my screen.
Yeah. So Scamp 900 wants to know, why would people use fake badges?
Oh, why? Because the real ones are, if you can get a real one and you're not like an exhibitor or something, they're $50 a pop, I think.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And a lot of people are jonesing to get into the SHOT Show and see all that stuff, man.
Yeah, if you have a badge that's real, you get in there for nothing. You get to walk around.
Oh, wait, hang on now. We'll back up. For nothing. What are you talking about, Hoss? At my booth with $8,000.
Yeah, okay, that's you. You're an exhibitor.
Yeah.
You're an exhibitor. Yes, but I'm saying, well, if you have a fake badge, I guess if you paid for your fake badge, if you're media or something else, you have to get credentials. That's really not for nothing, but we don't pay because we're coming there and we're doing media from the event, which is promotional for the event and the exhibitors. I get stuff with them.
With my booth, I think I had 7 badges with my booth.
Okay, and you paid $8,000.
Well, that's for the booth and the booth. Yeah. I think that's a good discussion to have because yesterday, when we were here yesterday, and I don't know if people have questions and stuff like that about SHOT Show. I saw Brick said that they haven't seen anything that would make them want to run out and buy anything yet. So one of the things we didn't talk about yesterday is this whole controversy that went down with Franklin Armory and the guys from In Range TV.
You mean between 2 children?
So
I have no idea what happened.
Yeah. So we probably need to get into that. I think I think this goes back to last year. Do you want to fill people in, Patrick?
It went back to 2018. So it went back to SHOT Show 2018. Basically, what happened at SHOT Show 2018 is the In Range TV guys, which is Ian from Forgotten Weapons and Carl from In Range TV show up at Franklin Armory's booth somewhat to look at the what's the name of that gun, Hank?
The Reformation.
Reformation. Somewhat to look at the Reformation and somewhat to just make fun of the Reformation. Carl, halfway through, they kind of finish their questioning. He halfway through puts a lens cap on the camera and just slings it to his side, making the guy think that the camera's off. And then he, on the other guy's bad side, he starts kind of the sales guy starts kind of talking out of his ass and makes a fool of himself. So this year, there was basically they were told when they showed up to the booth, they were told no filming. And from what the owner is saying, they didn't even have a chance to tell him why. Carl just got mad, stormed off, and made a scene. And what he was saying is the reason they wanted to that is he wanted to make sure that he was the person that they contacted and talked to, the owner of Franklin Armory. So there was a whole bunch of stuff. In Range TV put out a video saying we would like to cover their products, but we're not going to this year because we've been told no video. And that was a whole video that they put out. So people, Team In Range jumped in and said, "Oh, screw Franklin Armory. They're a terrible company." And then about 15% of the other people were like, "Well, screw Carl and screw them. I won't watch In Range ever again." And it was like children bickering back and forth. And Hank has said a couple times that with proper communication, it probably could have been resolved quite civilly and easily, but they're like a bunch of kids.
Yeah. I think let me just add to that for on behalf of the Franklin Armory guys, which Franklin Armory does help us to actually put on this show. But I think that what happened was, they shot an interview, then they put the lens cap on, then they kept recording audio, and Son, who's been on here, was talking with them. I don't know if he really made a fool of himself, but he continued.
He didn't come
this
off
was
well.
This was a long, I think maybe 5-7 minute conversation that they aired that he thought was off the record. The only thing that I heard him talking about, I think he said, because the Reformation it's not a rifle barrel, right? It has straight lands in it, right? In grooves. It doesn't have like the rifle.
It doesn't have rifling, yeah.
Yeah, and I think Son said something to them about, hey, tanks, not all tanks have rifles.
Yeah, and they really hit him hard for that, something like that.
Yeah. So maybe that's something that he wouldn't say, to the camera, and who's having that conversation. I think the first part of this we have to discuss is what are the rules if you come to the show as media, or what are the expected things if, as Walter did, you pay this money to come to the show, what happens? So Walter, from your point of view, what does NSSF that puts on the SHOT Show tell you about your booth and people from media?
A lot of noise.
They obviously don't tell you to put your phone on vibrate.
Oh, well, all right, just shut up for a second. There we go. Okay. Get a chance touching the show. Okay. Well, you're supposed to ask before you start recording people and things like that. I know if they get too crappy with you, you can have them thrown out. I mean, it's pretty. I have a personal experience that, not when it was my booth, but when I was working for somebody else. It'll go unnamed. He said some stuff to some other people at another booth, and he almost got his butt thrown out. Just because, well, he also insulted somebody of higher stature at the show too. But nevertheless, yeah, you don't want to be a pig or rude or anything, because you get thrown out. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I don't think so. This is a private trade show. This is not a public event open to the public media. It's a private trade show. And I think there has to be some kind of understanding for that. So I know on the side of the media, and Kevin, you go there as media, right?
Uh-huh.
So you can speak to this. NSSF tells us that you have to ask permission to film in someone's booth. That's not to say that everyone does that, but they say you have to ask for permission. And I think that also implies that, hey, if these people don't want to do an interview with you,
say no.
They can say no to you. What do you think about that, Kev?
I think that's fine, man. You know, one, they're putting on a show that's, let's not get it mistaken. It's there not only as a trade show, but there are a lot of business deals being made there. There are a lot of professional people of all sorts that are there to do things, whether it's a small business owner up to CEOs of large corporations. And people want to go somewhere where they can research and, you know, be in a comfortable environment. So absolutely, they put on an awesome platform, and that's cool. So I think as far as the media goes, it's respectful to ask. I think that most companies enjoy cameras and things at their booth, right? I mean, obviously, Walt, you drop $8,000, yeah, you want everybody talking about everything, right?
Exactly.
So I don't think most companies have a problem with that unless it comes down to the point where you're intentionally coming to mock the product.
All right, and yes, but and just remember when you're talking to people, don't talk too much.
Yes.
Know when to hold them and when to show them and when to fold. You know, hide your hand. You know, don't keep jabbering just to jabber. You know.
Yeah, I think that I think that obviously respect in any situation, any scenario has to be mutual.
Right.
You know, people have to mutually respect each other. I think SHOT Show was initially created as a trade show for the vendors, like Walther, manufacturers, to come there and sell their wares, and then stores or store owners come in there and they make their orders. It's obviously evolved into something else to be multiple things. People have to be respectful of each other. The guys from Franklin Armory say that they didn't tell in range that they could not record in the booth. It's just that because they aired something that was obviously, you know, it was obviously off the record, and it was so long. It's not like, oh, we stopped recording and then you heard 30 seconds of something. Mm-hmm. They put like a whole 7-minute conversation that continued on there. He wasn't saying that they couldn't record anything, that when they did, if they did show up and they wanted to record something, he wanted to talk to them first. Yep. I think they're within their right to do that. Lola and I go to booths all the time, and we talk to folks there. And the minute we say, okay, who gets on camera because we want to do a video, everyone goes, oh, wait a second, I don't want to be on camera.
You go to the big guys like Smith & Wesson and Colt and all the little guy on this floor that's telling you, hey, check this out. He's not going to be your spokesperson.
Yeah. Well, not everyone's camera ready. Also, like you said, there's companies that have specific people that you're supposed to talk to. We go through it all the time. I went through it at this show where, you know, there's people who will tell you details, and then if you want to do something, they're like, well, so-and-so is the designated person to do that. Sure. That's their job. They interact with people. If they're not here, you can come back or you can make a specific appointment with that person. Yeah. So I think that that's well within their right to say, we want to do this. And at the same time, I agree with, you know, if you're at the show, you want people, I think, look, Franklin Armory is making controversial things. They're pushing the boundaries and all that kind of stuff. And this kind of stuff is attention for them. So it's not a bad thing, you know, that people want to do this. But I think, like, so let's say you go up to someone's booth, they have some issue, they're trying to tell you, hey, the CEO wants to be the one to talk to you because he wants to find out like what went down last time. You know, I don't think that's outrageous for them to request that. You know,
no, if I went to Barnauls booth and I got to talk to Pete Barnaul instead of some guy on the floor, I'd be happy as can be.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
By the way, I got to meet him thanks to Hank there.
Oh, yeah, he's a nice guy.
In the morning, on Wednesday morning, stopped in there. He was also very interested in my situation too. Yeah,
what's going on with the ATF.
And wanted to help out if he could. So
yeah, I think it's too bad, the whole thing. But you know, and then I get it from In Range side, right? If they have something that they know is controversial, and they have an opportunity where they could go, oh, these guys are trying to ice us out from the show. Yeah, why not do that? I get it, you know.
You gotta respect your brand, man. Look, I pretend not to be an expert at the manufacturing and the branding and stuff, but you know, from even my aspect where I'm just putting out, you know, something with my name on it, but I've gotten clothing on a very, 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 very tiny scale. You know, your brand is everything, man. You gotta guard that. You just can't. I mean, you're gonna take shots. Don't get me wrong. You're gonna get hit. Everybody's not gonna like everything you make or do. That's life. But at the same time, you're not going to just set yourself up for what you believe to be failure either. You're gonna protect your name and your brand, dude. I I won't be mad at them. And you know what? Going to a lot of those booths too. One thing that I noticed a couple of years ago. Now, if you don't know anything about the product, you don't know anything about it. But if you have a pretty decent understanding of it, I've never had anybody give me an issue with me recording. You know, saying, hey, you can pick it up and do whatever you want. You know, it's just a matter of them putting certain people on camera. Because can you imagine, you know, you got a kid from a local gun store to come help you out, and they really don't know much about the gun, and they call it the wrong name and say that video is going to go viral for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, but also I remember, I think it was SHOT Show. I think last year, was it? I believe it was SHOT Show that last year. Jesse James was at SHOT Show, right? You know, Jesse James, not my friend Jesse James, but
the one that makes terrible suppressors.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy who tried to marry Michael Jackson, Jesse James.
Oh no! Don't start that again.
What? Well, Sandra Bullock looks like Michael Jackson.
He says that Sandra Bullock looks like Michael Jackson. Come on now.
No, she don't. Sandra Bullock.
Go. Okay, right now, get your phone, Kevin Dixie, and search for Sandra Bullock current pictures, and tell me she don't look like Michael Jackson. Okay. So anyway, so the thing is, Jesse James had a booth. In his booth, he didn't have signs, because I saw there were some booths that had signs: "Don't touch these guns" or "Don't pick up these guns." I believe Palmetto State Armory was one of those. They had guns there, like, you know, they had guns they didn't want you to pick up off the shelf and all that. And I actually saw a guy, not even media, pick up one of those things, and the guy was like, "Hey, the sign says don't pick this up." But Jesse James, in his booth, he had little Post-it notes, and things said like, "Don't touch. That means you. Fuck you." That kind of stuff. Literally, he had that written on the Post-it notes. And you know, he wasn't in a very good mood. I'm sure he did some interviews and things like that, but there were people who he didn't want to interview. He didn't even want to take pictures and stuff like that. And all of that is 100% within his rights as a person to do it.
His purview as the business owner.
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that makes him a very nice person, you know, but that's world. Yeah, that's who he is. That's the rock and roll thing. You know, he gets off
persona, you know.
He gets off on treating people like shit. I get it, you know, and lots of people kiss his ass and all that kind of stuff because he's a rock star. Yeah, I get that whole thing. I think that, you know, we just have to try to like be mutually respectful of each other when we're doing these shows. It's kind of like if I came to see your gun, Kevin, and you weren't there. I'm sure you were actually carrying your guns, but let's say I came to the Enforce booth. Right. And your guns were there, and I wanted to do stuff with it, and the guys were like, "Hey, we'll try to get Kevin to come over here." And then I go, "Wait a second, let me go off here. You know, I want to see the truth, but Kevin don't want to talk about the truth."
Right. You can't handle it.
Yeah, you can't handle it. So, you know, at the same time, I don't think the In Range. I don't know the guy from In Range that much. I've seen Ian and spoken to him. He doesn't seem that bad. I don't really think that that they're like, you know, terrible people. So
my son kind of summed it up, and I don't mean to say this is not about you, Hank, but some of the people on the internet really don't. I mean, yes, they produce things and they have a show, but they don't really. Aside from that, there's not much to them.
Yeah,
I mean, Ian's very knowledgeable about firearms and stuff, and I like to watch his stuff because he knows what he's talking about on the stuff, but and he goes to places a lot of people can't get to. But there's some folks out there that, you know, aside from, there's not much to them besides that. You know? Yeah, I mean, you know, so.
I think So anyway, that was the whole thing going on with them. I think ultimately, I know that Jay from Franklin Armory said that Ian did come back and apologize for the whole thing. Yeah. And then I don't know if they ever went over there and actually did a review. I wish they would, because that way their fans would get to find out about the thing. Here's the interesting thing to me. Go ahead.
They went right over where you went, over to Standard Firearms, or with the pistol.
Standard Manufacturing.
Sorry.
STD. Say that.
And yeah, STD. They got some STD over there.
Yeah.
And I watched their review of that, and I thought they were going to be like, oh God, I can't believe this. But they actually liked it.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
They liked it because it was different. What I think is a draw to that gun.
Yet they were not willing to give the Reformation a chance.
Yeah, and yeah. So, I guess, it's
I think there's lots of opinions out there in the gun world about everything.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah. So the gun people are very opinionated, and it seems like there's things that come out and it's not necessarily for them, and it has to be about, oh, there's no purpose for this thing, doesn't need to exist or whatever. You know what I often wonder? When the SIG brace came out, I don't know, you guys have been around for a little bit. When the SIG brace came out, did everyone think the SIG brace was awesome?
I still think the SIG brace was stupid.
I didn't touch them with a 10-foot pole at first because I thought for sure they were going to I thought it was going to end rather quickly.
Yeah. What about you, Kevin? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Walter. Go ahead.
But after I seen everybody else making a lot of money on, I said, "The hell with it! I'm getting on that gravy train."
Oh, you jumped up on that bandwagon.
Oh yeah, I'm going to ride it till Elsie's bleeding.
The original SIG braces, I think, are still terrible.
They're horrible.
But like I said to some guy that was bitching about Franklin Armory's gun, if it's a springboard for somebody else to come out with another design or another product, then it's a total win in my book. Like if it allows another designer to make improvements and then come out with something that's better, then that's completely a win to me.
Yeah.
Even if the original product is garbage.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about shooting it with regular ammo. So
yeah. So Kevin, what happened? Do you remember when the SIG brace came out?
Yeah, I did what any smart man would do. I walked in the store, had never really heard of it, and people were standing in line to buy one, and one of my friends worked there. I was like, what are they all buying? He was like, everybody's buying this brace. I said, okay, cool. Put me one to the side. I didn't know.
Yeah, exactly. Put one down.
Now, I must say that I did buy a couple, and I was thinking about putting them on an AK, and then I was like, these things are fugly. And and I took them to Knob Creek and I sold them immediately. So I put them on the table, they were gone. Boom. So
okay,
yeah.
So that's my thing. That's the thing. Like, I think people are free to have their opinions. They're free to hate things. People are also free to troll other people and do whatever they want to do.
That's America.
Yeah, and I always try to tell companies this: when you get if you put out something, especially when you're doing something that's controversial, which you should do, you should try to be different, push the boundaries and all that, think outside of the box. So you're on the right path if you're doing that. But if you do that and a lot of people come down on you, don't get mad. That's marketing. That helps you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those naysayers that are telling people, oh, you hear this thing? They're telling people about your thing. So there's states of existence. I could just tell you this right now. There's states of existence, right? So there's like or love and hate, but then there's also a state of existence called don't care or don't know. You don't want to be in the don't know or don't care category. If people are in the like or love it category, love it or hate it category, excuse me, then they are aware of what you're doing. So now it's up to you.
They're talking about your stuff.
Yeah, now it's up to you to be,
The hardest thing to do is you can have the coolest thing in the world, but if nobody knows you got it,
yeah,
it ain't any good. So
yeah, people are going to come down on it. I think we could keep going back. Did people love the Glock when it came out?
I didn't like that thing. I thought plastic. What with the freaking plastic?
Yeah.
You know what sold me on the Glock? Years later, I saw their testing, throwing it out of a helicopter and landing on the ground and picking it up. Pow, 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 pow. I was like, holy cow.
Well, that's
a pretty tough pistol.
Did you just turn it sideways in your hand, dude?
Yeah. I agree with
you. Like things, man, and that's fine. I think the consumer. One beautiful thing about, and it's not 100%, but about the making gadgets and gadgets world is, as an entrepreneur, sometimes the customer is just flat out wrong. And it's okay. it's okay. They are wrong, and it's okay, because you know what happens if you allow, you make stuff all the time. Now, it's one thing to put something out and there's room for improvement and you're getting tons of feedback, and so you do give the people what they desire and what they want. And you're like, oh man, I could have did that better. Fine, you guys are right. Boom, you put out a product. People love that story. They love to be able to be a part of the development and the betterment of something. Yeah. But when you get those individuals that are like, well, I wouldn't have put that screw there. They're like, well, if I take the screw out, the whole gun falls apart. I wouldn't have did it. You're like, man, shut up, walk down the street. Like, you know, you're wrong and you can be fired.
Well,
and it's okay. Because
there's just the opposite too. There's the people who make things, and the way they make it is the way they make it. And that is it. It's good the way it is. Now, half the stuff I make, I wouldn't be making unless somebody said, hey, Walt, you ever think about doing that over there like this? And I'm like, no, but you know what? That's not a bad idea. AKA my HK stock. AKA my
isn't that called evolution? Isn't
my
that how we get
SIG stock? So yeah, I mean, I'm now if there's something I don't like, you tell me, oh, maybe I'll try this. It's like, oh, well, maybe I'll take in consideration. That don't mean, you know.
Yeah, I think that's how we get better things, or how. So, for example, you know, obviously there's people living in states that they don't need some of these things that people are coming up with, right?
Oh, right.
And you're like, hey, I live in this, I don't need this. But there are people who are in states that do need it because their state does not give you 100% access to the Second Amendment. I'll be honest with you, I don't think any state gives any of us 100% access to the Second Amendment. One of the problems here is we're not fighting about it. You know, we're not doing enough to push that. Maybe we're buying too many of the gadgets and gadgets, as Kevin says, instead of ensuring that we have the Second Amendment. So there are places where people have lost access to things, and therefore they need alternatives. I think that's what happened with the SIG brace, that lots of people said, oh, I'll rather do this than to SBR something. And that's where we're at. But we could lose that. If you look at the gun control laws that people are proposing, that, you know, they're starting to include the SIG brace in those.
The whole SBR thing is not, people are very impatient nowadays. They got to freaking have everything right now. And it's like, dude, I tell people, oh, well, I want to get one of your shotguns. I said, do you like to
be ready to wait?
Do you like to wait for things?
Yeah.
Because I'll tell people flat out, if you don't like to wait for things, don't
get into NFA.
Because I don't want you calling me every other week. Is my gun? What's going on? Because I'll fucking give your money back. So that's the problem with people nowadays. They don't want to wait for nothing. So I mean, NFA paperwork is always taking time, except way back, maybe in the ancient times. But in modern times, it's always taking time.
But guess what? That's why they sold a lot of SIG braces, and why they still continue.
Well, somebody read the rules,
yes,
and said, well, if I can do this, then I can do that. And if this is that, then I can try this. And that's why we have variations on the SIG brace. God bless them. You know, and that's why that's patented. So, and that's why we have the shockwave, and and that's why I'm not making little shotguns anymore. So, and I'm good with it. I think it's great. You know, I have no problem with the shockwaves. They're coming from every direction you can think of. Now, every shotgun company in Turkey is making a shockwave now.
Yeah,
and then some. Oh yeah, they're everywhere at the SHOT Show.
It's funny.
Yeah.
You know? But
hate is part of the game. I think that if you're gonna sell anything, you got to realize hate is part of the game. Kevin, I think you were getting some hate for something related to your guns, right?
The first thing people were like is obviously the price, and I'm like, okay. My first thought was to put out because what I did anyway in preparation was not my friends, not my buddies, nobody I knew, just going to companies' websites and pulling off the similar work and just taking their prices and adding it up, and I did that, and it was an absorbent amount of money, like 60% over what the gun's priced at, and I just let people complain, and then I finally just told them, like, look, man, check this out. It's not, because everything's not for everybody, and it's not saying because your money's not there. It's just like, even if you had the cash, the value might not be there to you. You know, you might be like, yeah, it's just not for me. I'd rather go spend that on whatever, you know, and you go spend it somewhere else. But I think that people like to complain. They like to moan and groan, right? You can't entertain everybody. You'll be distracted chasing your tail. At the same time, when you're going to, I think a mature consumer will ask, like one that's really interested, right? Because if you're just griping, you're not even going to buy regardless, then why am I talking to you?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, why am I wasting my time talking to you? If you're griping and you're actually curious about potentially purchasing, now I am engaging with you and I am telling you about the value and where the value is. Then if you still make the decision not to purchase, doesn't mean we're not friends, doesn't mean we don't laugh and joke and still kick it. It just means that's not a good purchase for you. But just be coming around talking about, oh, it costs too much. Then you had other people like, oh, well, you're just selling. And well, I knew how to shut them up. Like, oh,
I think I saw some white guilt or something like that.
You're selling, before we even got to the white guilt, they were like, you're selling another Gucci gun and a cool case. That's all it is. I was like, yeah, but how much money do you spend when they drop a 50th year commemorative whatever, right? And everybody's out to get it. I said, so, that's kind of interesting. So if we tell one part of American history, like an old war coin and something comes with the gun, it's all the rage. But we tell something about depth, destruction, and why you need guns in the first damn place, then all of a sudden I'm just selling a story. I was like, all right. And they start deleting their comments. Because I'm like, no, we need to have a conversation. Like, why is it not okay to put a different spin on it? So people are going to complain because they're going to complain. And then the people with the white guilt, like, your sweatshirt and your gun is white guilt. I'm like, what? What?
Now, who's saying that? Are people of color saying that, or white people saying that?
I'm totally assuming here from because these comments I believe were mainly on YouTube. I'm going to assume with the dialogue of the conversation they were not minorities. I'm going to say that.
Okay, all right.
And it's like it's weird because when you put out a product, everybody says we want the Second Amendment community to grow, right? We want women, we want minorities, we want anti-gunners, like we want everybody to start seeing the light and flooding the community. And I often tell people that, okay, if we can snap our fingers right now and get 1 million new gun owners, would you do it? It's like, yeah, hell yeah. Snap my finger, get 1 million new ones. That's 1 million new people fighting against gun laws and stuff like that. Cool. I said, but they're coming with a million different perspectives, 1 million different personalities, 1 million different viewpoints. So you have to be ready for that. It's not going to be, as we grow, the community is going to change, right? And you have to be able to adapt to that change. And I think that majority of people are. Let's not make it seem like nobody. It's majority of people are. But I think that the small-minded people are exposing themselves because as the community grows, you start seeing these things come out of their mouth. It's like, like saying, oh, another slave reference on a shirt. So me telling you that people died, here's where you get hypocritical. So these same individuals will say how men and women, which is valid, it's all valid. Men and women died for us to be able to even have this podcast today. They died, they fought for the freedom of this country, they left their blood on the line from World War I to World War II, civil rights, the Civil War, the whole nine. We had men and women die, and we celebrate that. But then when I say, which is cool, but when I say on a shirt that my ancestors died, and I'm just my ancestors paid the price, and I'm just a receipt because they fought for me to have rights. They fought for my political identity. They fought for me to be able to work a job and have a home. They fought for me to be recognized as equal, and they literally died doing it. Then all of a sudden, when I don't say it as a military reference, it's invoking white guilt. But if I would have said it as a military reference, it would have been like, yeah, you're right, brother. So you're exposing your hypocrisy because I never said anything. Nobody can ever go back and pull up anything about me saying white people ought to be guilty about a damn thing, right? But it goes to show their small-mindedness. If you were trying to say you were for all, my story shouldn't affect you. You should be happy that another individual is coming out with a perspective that's not bringing hate, that's not living in the past, but is saying, no, we need to learn from the past. I hate to tell America, but you're the same old talking points. Defending gun rights is old, and they've already found tons of ways around it. All right. So you need to welcome and embrace women and minorities and people saying those things. And for your small-minded self to go to immediately to white guilt, I think that's it shows.
I think there's lots of reasons why people would be for the Second Amendment. I mean, if someone was gay and they were trying to bring up a story to say, hey, look at when this person got assaulted or even killed because they were gay, and this is a reason why people should be able to defend themselves, because in that moment when people decided to attack someone because they were gay, there were no police around, there was no one else there to defend them. If they could do it themselves, they would still be here. What's wrong with that? I mean, there's lots of reasons why you would want to defend yourself. That's what the Second Amendment is for, that everyone should be able to defend themselves. And like you said, individuals have their own individual stories and reasons for doing it. Maybe it makes some people uncomfortable.
The Second Amendment is also to keep the government in check.
Exactly.
Even more. So once you give up those things, man, you'll be in Venezuela and you'll be picking through the garbage can to get something to eat.
You know, I told people, I was like, you know what the funny thing is, man? With their little unsolicited comments. So what you're basically doing is this. You do realize that everybody that reads something doesn't comment on it, right? There are tons of people that are going out to read things just to absorb and see what the community is like. And you are people that have that mindset. I mean, you're going to have bad everywhere you go. And they're definitely representing the worst of us, right? And so when we are out trying to talk and have a rational conversation, and then you say things like, well, I don't see why we need to bring that to the light. I don't see why, you know, you people constantly bring that up. And I often question people. I'm like, hey, what happens when I say 1776? You lose your freaking mind, right? Cool, not a problem. As soon as I say something about 1921 and that struggle, or 1917 and that struggle, or 1865 and that struggle, or 1787 and that struggle, then all of a sudden I'm bringing up stuff from the past. Last time I checked, 1776 was before all the dates I just named, right? So it's like, it's okay if we're telling a story that is predominantly of the let's just face facts, the white version of America. But as soon as I say, hey, we're all Americans, I'm just going to tell it from a different perspective. Just like I was taught your perspective in school, let me tell my perspective now. And then all of a sudden it's, well, no, shut up. Don't say that to us. And so I was like, it's funny. I make a lot of anti-gun people uncomfortable because they have to change the nature of their debate, right? They have to go back, regroup, and come back and have a more real conversation. What I started to notice recently is I make two-way people just as uncomfortable.
Yeah, you've heard of Kevin. You've heard of Rosewood too, haven't you?
Yes, sir. Down there by you guys.
That's where my dad lives, right down there by Rosewood.
Yeah. We should not forget. Listen, I think it's incredibly important for us to not forget the past. This is the reason why I don't like people tearing down monuments and things like that. Okay, whether you agree with it or not, you don't need to go out there and tear down monuments and pretend like the past didn't happen, or try to avoid a conversation with people about what something means to them. You know, I think that we're all entitled to have something mean something to us, you know, and we try to homogenize everything, make it like, okay, no, we got to have one thing. No, human beings need to find something that pulls them through and makes them like pay attention to something. You can't force everyone to see things the same way. That's the stuff that we're actually trying to fight against, right? That's like communism, socialism, the things where we're like, no, everyone has to see this thing, the same message. Forget this never happened.
Yeah,
you know, why are we doing that?
If you want somebody trying to restrict somebody of their freedoms, me and Hank walking down the street together talking doesn't bother them. But me and Walter, me and Babyface does. You know what I mean? Like, that's the imagery they don't want to see. They don't. Why are you talking to each other? Don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they don't want to see. So it's funny, and I'm trying to. And I knew I always knew when I started talking, backlash was going to come, and it's fine. I'm built to take it. It's just funny that you people claim to be pro-American, and then at the same time you're still practicing segregation of thought. It's really screwed up. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay for me to say, hey, this is my perspective. Hank's is different than mine. Walt's is different than mine. Babyface is different than mine, but they're all equally as impactful. I think it's a great opportunity for you to sit back when others talk and say, I'm glad you gave me that information. I'm glad that I know that now, because I'm going to need to know that about you. I should care about you and what you went through, good and bad. Not everything is a struggle. And at the same time, if somebody comes to me and says, hey, have you ever thought about this? I can say, you know what? I had this conversation with a friend one time, and they told me this, and I didn't know that. So I'm glad now I can have a conversation with you on their behalf, because what you just said, you're full of shit.
Yeah.
Right? So now I can have the conversation with you. So I keep telling people, gun control folks, armed, they use lies for destruction, right? The March for Our Lives, the constant fears on TV. And then when you're presented as the gun community, I'm not going to say it's the fix-all weapon, but when you're presented with something in your arsenal that's like, oh, this will at minimum redirect their course, which is a harsh truth that they never address in anything. And what you do is you immediately attack it. I keep telling people that If you take Feinstein right now, and she can choose between two individuals, right, to debate, and this debate will, if she wins it, she gets gun control. We just give it all up. If she loses it, we never have gun control again. Take your typical, you got two choices with her. Take your typical former military, middle-aged white dude, right? Hardworking, good guy. And then take somebody that fits my mold. She is going to choose to debate the dude that looks like the typical gun owner because she believes his talking points are going to be typical, right? She doesn't want to filter off into the unknown. She doesn't want to do that. So at minimum, if not, I'm not going to be the one called to the stage. Let me slide you a couple of points that you can bring up. Let me arm you.
Also, yeah, I also think that she doesn't want the message to get out there that people other than whatever that prototype of who they say, who they say that old white guy is, that he's the only one that wants guns, right? They don't want it to be a woman. They don't want it to be people of color. They don't want it to be people with different beliefs. They don't want it to be gay people. They don't want other people to see that and go, oh, maybe this thing is for all of us. Because it is for all of us. But if it is for all of us, then all of us have to bring our individual story. And I get it. Some people aren't interested in that because it's not relative to them. But other people are interested in it for that same reason, because it's relative to them. That's how this goes. Go ahead, Walter. Sorry.
No, yeah. I mean, you can. I'm a white guy. You're a black guy, Kevin. You got different backgrounds, different. Now you take an American Indian type person, they go. They have a reason to have guns too, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, you would think so, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or a Jewish fella.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even more.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's good to understand the historical perspective, of everybody's thing, and then you can kind of go, oh yeah, okay. And then if you put all those together, it's history, like, what's that?
I think some people don't like history. Like, I know you like history.
History is an eye opener when you look at history.
Yeah, and I know that's why you like it.
Yeah,
and
it's the truth. As Kevin, it's the truth. You can't deny the truth, right?
Deny it. I just put up a post yesterday. I believe it was yesterday, where it was an article written where they were saying millennials are not being taught or forgetting all about the Holocaust. Like, a lot of millennials didn't know about it. And I shared that, was like, do you want to repeat history? Because this is how you repeat history, right? Like, don't forget about that stuff.
But people don't know about a lot of things. Patrick, I noticed, Patrick, what are you playing video games or?
No, definitely not.
What are you up to?
Listen, all right. You guys really want to know? So I got a business trip next week. I found my old PlayStation Portable. And I've realized
millennials right here, millennials.
I realized online that you can put all of your old emulation games on there, like my Game Boy games from like when I was a kid. So I've been messing with it, trying to figure out how to get it working. I'm putting it down now.
Okay.
To pay attention to the conversation.
So here's the thing. Patrick and I had this discussion, right? Because I was telling him, actually, on the video that I just posted with Kevin, there was some feedback from a few people. Yeah, including one person felt they had to email me because when I was talking to Kevin, I said something and then I kind of laughed and they didn't know what I meant by the laugh. So they wanted me to parse exactly what I meant by the laugh when I said the thing, which is like a little bit, I don't know, if you can't, you can't really get that crazy about this. But Patrick and I were,
I'm sorry. I laughed. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. Sometimes we have conversations here and we laugh. Sometimes it's a nervous laugh.
If you just say certain words in the conversation, I chuckle.
Yeah, it's not harmful. It's not.
No. Trust me, when I'm going to be harmful, I'm not laughing.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but here's the thing. I was talking to Patrick. Walter, you're aware of Rosewood. Patrick's not aware of Rosewood.
Nope, I hadn't heard of it. I had heard of it once before because Hank had brought it up previously about something, but I had no real concept of what it is. And you weren't
aware of Black Wall Street either?
I still don't really know what that is. You filled me in today.
You better go look it up right now instead of.
Yeah, I had no clue what that is. So.
Put down that video game, young man. Google it, and then what was it, Kevin? We were talking about I think it was after the Civil War, the soldiers that
Oh, talking about we were talking about the Knights of Liberty. No, that's before.
No, we were talking about. Okay, remember they were supposed to pay these soldiers.
Oh yeah, you were talking about the bonus marchers. Yeah, that was around the Depression time.
I'm sorry. Okay, what was it? What was that thing about?
Yeah, that bonus marches were the guys that
Oh, the bonus march. Yeah, bonus march. That's what we were talking about.
And you know what? That's cool. I'm actually glad you brought that up, because what cracks me up is when people. Okay, I have certain people that will come over because they're like, they want to challenge the fact that, oh, it's just this black guy talking about the black struggle. And then when I talk about things like the Holocaust and the bonus marchers and different things, that the Native American struggles, and you see me sitting down having a conversation with a Japanese American who asked me, hey, how do I talk to my emperor about getting our gun rights back? You see me educate him about what happened on American soil to his people. And then I had to go educate him about what happened on his soil to his people. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, oh, okay, you're cool now. And shut up.
Yeah, I think we all need to learn history.
You have to know it. You need to be able to empathize with people. Look, it's not about sitting and being sad. And I'll have to tell people, because people often, across the board, no matter who you are, they believe no matter what you're talking about in history, you're trying to lean on that and say, oh, me, oh, pity me, oh, pity mine. No, I found out the more people that are aware of history are the ones that you don't want to even think you're trying to repeat it. Because they're like, no, I get that it happened. I'm just here to make sure it don't happen again. We're not living back there. We're just not going to relive it. And there is a difference. There's a big difference.
I think we all need to take a look at those things. The common thread through those things are that if you're unarmed and you have no way of pushing back against the government can make you deal with anything.
Hey, but you know what? I think that what the first thing that needs to be explained, and I think this guy that was going on in your YouTube video, me and you today, he was trying to debate, well, not debate me, but he made a mention. He was being respectful. He made a mention of, oh, you're off, you're wrong. Now there were a couple of things I babbled that I do need to correct about what at the beginning, how it all started. I noticed that in the videos. My mind was everywhere. However, gun control.
Mine too. It was Friday, SHOT Show. My knees were killing me. You were taking it to church, and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm not prepared. I am not physically or mentally prepared for Kevin." If you want to feel my pain, hold on a second. This is really important. If you want to feel my pain, here's what I want everyone to do: look at the video of me and Kevin talking for 40-something minutes. Put on a heavy ass backpack if you want to pretend to be me. For the ladies, you want to pretend to be Lola. You got to hold you got to hold up something, because pretend you're the camera. Put on a heavy ass backpack and stand up, looking at Kevin Dixie while he's taking you to church. Giving you the sermon and everything. We all forget things and mess things up. Man. So.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, even my talking points all week, was a couple of things that I definitely do need to go and correct. So I just messed up some talking points from your interview to a couple other ones, and it's fine because I got more to say. But that being said,
you have more.
Oh yeah, I only touched on it. I'm gonna do the wait till you see the video, the standalone videos. But it's people are under the belief that I don't think people know what gun control is. I really don't think they know. I think a lot of people believe gun control is the elimination of firearms, and that is when we have truly reached tyranny. They think that the chipping away part of it is leading to it, but they really don't see what gun control is. So the gentleman today that was trying to debate is like, well, they had rifles. Okay, yes, there were a lot of ex-veterans that lived in that town that in Tulsa that did have long guns, right? However, and I try not to make, first of all, typing is a long thing to do and trying to get points across. Here's what you have to remember. There's these little laws called Jim Crow. Tennessee was one of the first states that tried to enact gun control laws in the form that we learned to know them in like the 1900s, were the Saturday night specials, trying to disarm people from owning, inexpensive guns, thus aimed at the minority communities. However, it didn't start there. Those laws, before they became nicknamed Saturday night specials, even in Tennessee, they wrote it where it was called the Army-Navy rule, right? So the Army-Navy rule was a rule that stated that you couldn't own inexpensive guns, and only guns that you could buy were Army-Navy military issue type guns. They were expensive, right? Mm-hmm. So if you can't afford it, yeah, that's gun control, right? We made it to where the only guns you can buy are guns that you can't afford. So that traveled throughout the states. Many states picked that up, Oklahoma being one of them. They kind of adopted it. And so when Tulsa happened, the individuals there, one of the small excerpts from the story is when they marched upon that police station peacefully, they had guns, and people are like, well, that wasn't a peaceful march. Aha, what if somebody tells you you're to a rally with you having guns is not peaceful? It was peaceful, right? So they marched, they had their long guns, and they were peaceful. One of the guys that where the chaos started, one of the one of the idiots from the community walked up on them. He said nothing about their long guns. He did ask one of them, he said, hey, nigger, what are you doing with that handgun? Because they weren't supposed to own handguns. This guy just had money enough to buy it because it was an area where you had a little bit more coin. So he was able to own it. So that gun is what drew that guy's attention to him. It's like, because it wasn't a long gun, it was a handgun. They didn't want people to have concealable firearms, right? So don't tell me gun control didn't play a part in it. Even the people that started the chaos weren't prepared to see somebody that didn't look like them have a handgun, which is why he didn't say, hey, what are you doing with those guns? He called out that handgun. So miss me with the, if you're going to debate me, do your homework and do your research.
Did you just use miss me with something? That's Maj. You're not allowed to use that.
I'm not
too old, man.
But it's gun control doesn't have to be an all right telling you I better not catch you with anything that looks like a gun.
Yeah. Jay Loafer says also check on the Battle of Athens, Georgia. That's another one.
I haven't heard of that one.
You should look that up.
All the good works. It's a lot of stuff. And you know what? It's a lot of stuff that didn't happen to hundreds and hundreds of people at a time. That might have happened to 10 or 12.
Yeah, but this is what I think what you're saying is true. I mean, this is what's going on with like SBR stuff. This is what's going on with suppressors. This is what's going on with all the crap. It's what like Walther has to deal with now. That all of a sudden, I know Walther doesn't want to get deep into it, but like the ATF is going to go, oh, you got to put a serial number here. You got to put a serial number here. Next thing we know, you'll have to serialize every single part.
Well,
yeah.
That's a form of gun control.
There's folks that would like you to have to get a part. You'd have to go buy it through channels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they want
official
that,
channels and probably do paperwork and all that monkey business.
Every time you want to buy a trigger or a magazine.
Right now, there's places that say you have to do that whenever you buy ammo. Right?
All right. Well, back up. Florida used to be that way, my friend.
Florida used to be what?
Florida used to, when you went to Kmart to buy some bullets, they put your name down in the book.
What the hell was that for?
Well,
when was that?
I don't remember when it went away, but I do remember it. Yes.
Man.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, it's stupid.
Oh, it's Athens, Tennessee. Weston Probe says it's Athens, Tennessee. Not Georgia.
I do see Athens, Tennessee, not Athens.
Yes,
Georgia.
that's true. Yeah. Yes. And I learned about that, I think, through like Military Arms channel.
Was the Athens, Tennessee thing a black-white thing, or was it?
No, I think that was a corruption thing, wasn't it, against the local government?
Yes, this was
1946.
Yeah, this was
really?
Yeah. Okay.
Was it veterans that are pissed off?
I think local government was caught. They had a lot of corruption going on, a lot of tax issues, and people got tired of it and fed up with it and rebelled.
Yeah, I thought it had something to do with the vote. Okay, Babyface, pull that up and tell us.
The Battle of Athens, sometimes called the McMinn County War, was a rebellion led by citizens in Athens and Etowah, Tennessee, United States, against the local government in August 1946. The citizens, including some World War II veterans, accused the local officials of predatory policing, police brutality, police corruption, and voter intimidation. So it was against blacks, it sounds like.
No, I don't believe the people in that community were
police brutality, police corruption, voter intimidation. That is historically a black thing, isn't it?
No.
Not always.
It's not. No,
would they use it against the poor as well?
Yeah.
What?
I mean,
when somebody's,
are you serious?
When you're running a racket and somebody doesn't like it, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, all of that stuff happened in New York in different waves. That the Irish people went through that, Italians went through it. That happened to lots of different people. But from my recollection of that was a white community predominantly.
Right. Yeah.
So Rodney Brady says it was mixed.
It was a mix.
Yeah. I don't think it was an issue. I don't think that was an issue of race. I think that was just an issue of the government being more powerful. Mm-hmm. And writing the rules and stuff like that, and the people were like, "Hey, you guys got to stop with this."
Here's their street sign. Their historic street sign says, the Battle of Athens was an armed revolt that gained national attention, attempting to end the control of an entrenched political machine. World War II veterans used force to ensure that on the day of local elections in 1946, every vote was counted as cast. After local authorities locked themselves and the ballot boxes in the jail, veterans suspicious of foul play gathered weapons and ammunition and exchanged fire from this hill upon the jail, which once stood across the street. The besieged authorities surrendered at a meeting in the courthouse. Oh, so it was basically those in power wanting to keep power, just corruption and power.
That wasn't a way, because I know they had some problem with like they were fixing votes like openly.
Yeah,
there was a bunch going on at the town, and the people got pissed.
Yeah, so it was the powers wanting to maintain their power.
They wanted to maintain their racket.
Yeah, and the people said no more.
It happens all the time. Look at what we have in Florida, people. Our elected officials decided in Florida, Republican.
Remember, Hank, if you're not voting for a Republican, you're voting for a Democrat.
Don't make me smack you. Don't make me smack you through this. Okay. The elected officials here decided to put gun control on us. They put into effect.
Conservatives did it. Yeah.
Yes. Republicans, people who say, "Oh, I'm constitutional."
You know what's so crazy? It's crazy how simple things are. You know how people are fooled to think. So every time people have to corner you somewhere. If you say you're anti-gun, people automatically say, "Well, they had to be a Democrat that said that." If you say that, if you speak up for something that happened to a certain group of Americans, then you have to be like, if you're black, then you're just talking about the black story. Like, you people do understand that politicians are not your friends.
Oh, God.
And you should be focused on uniting with your American brethren. And that's why I put out the post that said, I don't need to be controlled by government. I need my fellow brethren to help me control government. You know, and that's the way it should work. And it's crazy. And, you know, you look at all these political figures that bicker and backer, but look in Tennessee, for example, those people got tired of that. And I'm not saying that's what we are going to do. Nobody wants to get red flagged here. But at the same time, that's where the unity of being together comes in against government. And that's a great example. It was a town versus a local government, right? So it was on a smaller scale, but the point is still there. People are so silly.
What?
Go ahead, Walt.
Especially as someone like a veteran that came back from being overseas and it comes back and this monkey business is going on. He's like, enough of this shit. I didn't go over there for this. And I can take care of my bone, you know, like when you've had guns pointed at you, you might know, Kevin, I've never had gun pointed at me, but after you've had guns pointed at you a couple of times, it's like, okay, are you for real? Are you going to do it or what?
Oh yeah, you're getting them.
You never, hold on a second, Walt. You never had a gun pointed at you.
Not on purpose. No.
Okay. Yeah. That's
now,
interesting.
It's kind of surreal. It gets really weird.
Other than Walter, who has not ever had a gun pointed at them?
I don't think I ever have.
You would remember.
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. No. Baby faces like this. I don't think. He's like, look, he's still pondering. Look, he's still.
No, I don't think I ever have.
I helped take a gun away from my drunken roommate that was going to go shoot a bouncer.
Well, that's
holy
I'm glad you did that.
Yeah, he was pissed off. He was getting ready to go out the door. It's like, wait a minute, give me that damn thing. You're not going anywhere.
Walter, did you bump him with your big chest? Did you?
I just said, you're not going no place, dumbass.
Yeah, you know what's weird though? I'm gonna tell you what's very, very strange. And Hank, I don't know if this happened to you. I think the last time I had it happen, it was so weird because I was more focused on the type of gun it was, not because I knew guns. Like, oh. All right, you're gonna really try to kill me with a Taurus? That works.
You got a good chance of blowing yourself up there.
Yeah, like, oh, okay, that's cool. All right.
Kevin in his head is thinking, I might take these odds with that Taurus in your hand.
Yep,
I'm not taking no kind of odds.
It was with a Taurus PT 111. That was the last gun I had stuck in my face.
Oh man.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm not taking any kind of odds. Thank you very much.
I never deal with that. Like, I don't know if it's like, if I just don't frequent bad parts of town or like, but it can happen to anybody at any time. And I guess I've just been lucky so far.
No,
I think growing up in New York, it was commonplace to me because
that totally different. I've been in small town Florida, well, Tampa and Gainesville. So different circumstances for sure.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was just commonplace growing up in New York. So I've been robbed by police officers. at gunpoint.
It's ridiculous.
So, yeah, that's New York City for you.
Yep.
What was the name of the thing with the veterans that was supposed to be paid? What was it? The bonus march. Did you pull that one up, Patrick?
What's it called?
The bonus.
Yeah, that was just a soldier thing. That wasn't like a racial thing, was it?
No. That's the point.
No.
It happens.
Right. They just got fed up.
They got fed up, and they went up to Washington, and you know what kills me?
And they camped out. They were camped out there because I believe they gave them bonds instead of giving them the gold that they promised them. And then when they asked for the gold, my understanding is they went there and killed a whole bunch of them because they were camped out.
Yeah, I think the most alarming thing about that, some people did get hurt, some people died, and I think the most look, I didn't serve, so I don't have a military, a bone in me to say that was and speak of it from that standpoint, but I can speak of it on the standpoint that the people that came to get rid of them were service members. They were active duty, pushing out a bunch of vets. Like that whole thing just seemed wrong, like, and when people say, "Oh, the American soldiers will never turn on us," really, they turn on us.
Oh, you think so? Really?
Yeah.
You think so? Certain ones won't, but some people to wear that uniform will do anything they're told.
I think to go back in history, I think the Holocaust is a great example of that. The atrocities were committed because people just said, I was told to do it. I had to do it.
Well,
so I think, there are people out there that will do whatever they're told, no matter what it is.
It's the alien question, right? If we woke up tomorrow and President Trump said, guess what? There's such a thing as aliens. They're now our overlords.
No, thanks.
And we will submit to them. Most people are going to go, okay.
Nope.
How are they going
to? I just got lots of about your regular jobs as usual until we figure out whose children we're feeding to the aliens and all that. Most people will just go about their regular jobs.
I just got lots of targets.
Yep. And you know what? The other crazy thing is, and somebody just pointed it out, and I wasn't even thinking about it. But you look at we've been talking about stuff from 1900s, 17, 18, 1900s. Look at Hurricane Katrina. Then somebody,
Like,
look at that. And look, I was like, even though they tried to deny the military, there were definitely private military contractors down there doing a lot of stuff. And I'm like, it's amazing. Even when it happens in modern time, like when you were alive, you're like, how did that really happen? The chief of police in Louisiana, for Christ's sake, like nobody say it's Louisiana and thinks no guns. You think all the guns in Louisiana. And the chief of police stands on TV during a national crisis, like people scavenging for food, trying to survive, and says, yeah, there'll be no guns. We're taking all your guns.
Yeah, and people did it. The problem is in America, the rest of us watching, people gave up their guns. People took those people's guns. There were some police officers, I'm not going to say all police officers, some police officers and law enforcement turned against the people and killed the people. And that's not the worst part. The worst part is the rest of us in America, we watched that. We watched that. It wasn't a foreign country. It wasn't Syria or anything like that. It was America, and we watched it.
Yep.
And then somehow we've convinced ourselves that won't happen to us. Well, yes, it will. And you have to refuse in that moment to give up your guns. You got to refuse that in that moment to give up your guns. And as a matter of fact, well, I don't know what was the technical law. I guess they had a law in Louisiana that they could do that, right? Because I think Florida has a law, doesn't it, that in a state of emergency you can't disarm the people or open carry.
We have that here, where in a state of emergency you absolutely cannot, because they try to do it in Ferguson. They tried to walk up to a bunch of oath keepers in Ferguson. And our St. Louis County chief was trying to tell them that they can't have their long guns, and they were, we absolutely can. And he told them why, and he was like, "Well, I got lawyers, and they say you can." And the guy was like, "Yeah, well, your lawyers aren't that good." Like, it's all on camera. They were having a polite discussion, but no, they didn't disarm them. But yeah, you can't do that in Missouri for that reason.
Okay, what's the law here in Florida, Walter?
I think it's similar to that, because like during a time like a hurricane, somebody steps in your yard, you can fucking shoot them. And there's no, if they trespass on your property, that happened after the hurricane down in Miami back in the 90s. These car full of people pulled up at this house. They started coming up in the yard toward the house, and the homeowner just let them have it. So yeah, it wasn't, they weren't there it wasn't the welcome wagon when they showed up, so.
Yeah, when things get bad, please be more respectful, not less.
Well, when you go when you pick that piece of 4x8 plywood and you write looters will be shot, so stay out, and you put it on your street, that's notice. You've been put on notice. You go down the street, guess what?
Yeah. It's interesting. I think it's very true. We don't really have to go that far back.
No. I mean, but when you talk about people doing things, some people are so scared of losing their job that they will do whatever they're told.
I think there's some people that you know what I think it comes down to? I think it comes down to location and who the people are and all that kind of stuff. I think that there's some places that the people want. That's why I'm always trying to tell people, don't put everyone in the same bucket, in the same box, in the same category. I think there's some places here in the South, like places where I live, where the sheriff, for example, is going to go, no, hell no. Well, and then there's places where the law enforcement the people who are doing that job, and in some cases, in
Gainesville, I guarantee there's some law enforcement that would be giddy to jump on that let's take the guns bandwagon.
Yeah,
I don't think it's most of them. I really don't think it's most. I think a lot of the people here, a lot of the cops here believe in two-way stuff, but I do think there are some in there that would be like, oh yeah, of course. I know the politicians here in Gainesville would fucking love it. Oh my God, they would love it.
Oh yeah. Why they got the cops guarding their house, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, with a gun or two.
Yeah. But they won't have any plastic bags while they do it.
Speaking of cops and guns, did you see where after the shooting, the latest police shooting was it in Houston?
Mm-hmm.
I think the police chief said out that we need to do something about gun violence. I wish they would do some more about gun violence.
They were
like, those people weren't. I think the problem is the drugs. But I don't think the problem was the guns.
Wait, so Kevin, you said they were serving a warrant?
Yeah, from what I read, I haven't read along, but they were serving a warrant. Like, so they knew they were going after the bad guy, and they got into a firefight.
And this was a white couple, one in both like 40-something and 50-something, and that's not the narrative for the shoot back people.
Yeah,
in a drug situation, that is.
Yeah,
it's usually younger folk, and they're like, but they're like, really, those are the ones. Now they're both dead now, thank God. But they got to what's coming to them. But
oh my God, this story is like,
it's bizarre,
like out of a movie.
Yeah.
The first officer fired a shotgun blast, killing the dog. Suspect Dennis Tuttle, 59, initially retreated, but returned with a .357 Magnum, shooting the first officer in the shoulder, where he collapsed onto the couch. As the other narcotics officers charged through the door, which Avicito described as the fatal funnel, the second suspect, Regina Nicholas, 58, tried to wrestle the shotgun away from the officer on the couch. Police quickly shot her. Jesus.
Yeah, this is not the typical.
But when I'm 58,
no, this is the Bonnie Clyde thing or something.
Good
I don't know
Lord, yes.
Yeah.
When I'm 58, I won't want to argue with Lola, much less get all. Why the popo even rolling up on you at 58? Come on now.
Well, they're selling drugs.
Yeah.
They're selling heroin. Come on. Yeah. And that's where'd that heroin come from? I wonder. Never mind.
Let's see.
Show us your gun.
Yes. Okay. We're gonna wait, but before you say that, I just want to say something that I think is really funny. So how we were talking about Kevin's going to show the gun. Hold on a second. So we were talking about Killer Mike. We were talking about Killer Mike yesterday from Run the Jewels. He was on Joe Rogan. He has a TV show on Netflix, and I looked at the first episode. So it's funny. I think what is
Trigger Warning?
Yeah, it's called Trigger Warning. And the first episode, right, he decided that he wasn't going to spend any money with any company that it wasn't from the Black community. So he was only going to give so if he ate, he was only going to eat from like a Black restaurant, but the food had to be grown by Black people.
How's he going to get some tires for a car?
Yeah, so here's the thing. So you got to look at this episode. You have to look at it. It's funny because he had to get a bicycle.
Yeah, I was gonna say couldn't do.
Well, how did he get the bicycle?
He was walking around. Because he bought it from.
Who made it? Who made the bicycle?
Yeah, this is. You have to look at this. I'm trying to tell you. It was so funny because he went to eat at a Black restaurant and then the other guy from Run the Jewels was there, who's the white guy. And right when he was about to start eating, I forgot the name of the guy.
No.
The white guy was like, wait a second. Okay, this is a black restaurant, but did black people grow this food?
Oh, God.
So he couldn't eat. He couldn't eat. Then he tried to get some weed, to smoke some weed, but he couldn't find any weed. He could find black people selling the weed.
Can't find it where it was grown by him.
Yeah, he couldn't find any weed that was grown by black people. So he said something funny there. He was like, you know, I don't want to sound like Donald Trump, but the only weed I could get is the weed from Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that whole thing on the plane on the ride out to Vegas. Interesting.
I was cracking up. He's like, I don't want to sound like Donald Trump. So you guys have to look at it. I think it was really funny. It was, it's interesting thing. Okay. Enough jokes. You have to get serious here. Make sure you get your popcorn. Take a break. This might be a good time. Hopefully you went to the bathroom already. If your bladder is not strong, put on some pants.
Pull up the big girl panties.
Well, here we go. I'm not going to do the whole spiel. This is more about showing. They've already heard the spiel. They can go watch the video. We only got 20, 30, 40 minutes left or whatever.
Yeah, the video is on Hank Strange, YouTube/Hank Strange.
Make sure you watch it.
Yeah.
All right, small guy. So for you, the 20-second spiel, if you guys haven't seen it, is these are the
wait 1 second, Kevin. I'm not trying to interrupt you, but just out of curiosity, does your company have a TME program?
What?
We need some testing and evaluation on those firearms. When can we expect them here in Gainesville?
Okay, all right. I'm done with the jokes.
A couple of trips, you never know.
Okay, I'm done with the jokes. All
right. So the first one is telling the story. So the whole thing is,
Jafari H says he's pooping right now. Just breaking news.
Okay, all right. Relax then.
Yeah. Okay.
The whole thing is, and I don't know how well it's going to do in this lighting here, but the whole thing is to address gun control, right? So it's the first guns to fight gun control, and how we do that. Gun control is a lie. It is built in a lot of deceit. We've even talked about that tonight, so I don't have to go over it. And I want the guns to tell the truth. So the first one, I'll even take the gun. Show that off by itself. The first one is a case that represents the Underground Railroad.
Yeah, someone complained in that video, by the way, that we didn't show the guns, which is totally ridiculous.
Right. Yeah. The guns. Yeah, it was like you didn't watch the whole video, dude. Like,
no, there's no way you could have watched the video.
You didn't watch the video. But here's the case. So some of the small details.
That's really cool, man. Look at that foam work. Have you?
Yeah. Somebody.
You guys, Walter, have you ever seen this kind of foam work?
No, somebody took a long time with the laser engraver.
I haven't, but I'm very intrigued by it.
I'm telling you, that is.
Yeah.
What's the name of that company, Kevin?
It's Carolina Custom Foam.
Holy Moses, Carolina Custom Foam! You are no joke.
Yeah, he is freaking awesome, man. And this one's a little marred up because it had hundreds and hundreds of hands touching it, but this is this is it. So basically, what we have here in representation, we have the cotton field with the railroad running through the cotton field. The birds are flying free. Here's the North Star because that's what everybody was chasing. The birds are flying free. There are roughly 100,000 slaves free via the Underground Railroad. So each bird represents 5,000 freed souls. Might be kind of hard to see on this camera, but over here you have a slave catcher. Over here you have the family running from the slave catcher. And then they run down into the swamp, which is where a lot of people hid and ran. You can see them right here. And they're running through the swamplands. And the reason for that is because, it's harder for dogs and things to chase you through the swamps. Plus, there was a lot of stuff down there to eat, frogs and snakes and et cetera, gators, stuff like that. But when you pick the gun up, which I'm going to show the gun in a minute because I know guys want to see the gun. But when you pick the gun up, I want every time you move this case, it says something to you. So when you pick this up and you look at your gun, it's going to give you a quote from me. And the quote in this one, which I know the words will be kind of hard to see, but the quote in this one is, "I'm gun control's worst nightmare because I'm the inconvenient black truth." What a lot of people don't know about the Underground Railroad that really goes to guns is it was not started as a way to free slaves. It was started by a guy named Moses Dixon, who built it as a route to fight a war against the Confederates. Once Civil War broke out, they repurposed that route because it already had to train soldiers to defend it, and it was already lined out. They repurposed it to free the slaves since Civil War had broke out. So they didn't need to use it to fight the Confederates because the Union started fighting the Confederates.
Were you related to Moses Dixon? I mean, you're Kevin Dixie. I don't know.
Well, you know, I'm trying to find a link there. Like if we ever went to the same restaurant or any damn thing, I'm going to claim it. Okay. I'm just waiting to find one spot, especially since he was in St. Louis. I'm like, let me find out we ate at the same spot.
Oh, he was from St. Louis, or
well, he was from Tennessee. No, he's not from St. Louis. He started his mission here in St. Louis.
Okay.
But
all right.
And then when you pick that up to get down to the nitty gritty, once you pick that up, you get to the bottom here. I can put that guy back in, and you see that. All right, so there is a collar that was placed on slaves when they attempted to run. Right, that collar had variations of spikes on it. It prevented you from from running anymore. Right? How the hell you gonna run with that thing on your neck? And then you couldn't get human affection and compassion because you had a big 6-foot spike sticking off of your neck. So, and it also allows slave owners to stick a chain on and to walk you around like an animal and so forth and so on. The quote at the top of that, what it says is, it's a quote by Harriet Tubman, which is the famous conductor of the Underground Railroad, who carried a rifle with her, by the way. And it says, I've seen hundreds of escaped slaves, but I've never seen one who was willing to go back and be a slave. And what I want Americans to recognize is that collar is gun control. So we've all fought for our freedom. We went through some pretty crappy stuff. Yes, people that look like me went through some horrific crap, but everybody suffered in their own rights. That collar, all you're doing is changing the imagery of the person you're putting in it. It started with them. Gun control did start for people that look like me. Hey, it did. It's flat out fact. However, all it did was say, okay, we want to expand who them is. So now them is Babyface, it's Walther, it's women, it's everybody now. It just expanded. It didn't just stay still. So yeah, that's that case. And then in the other case, take the gun out.
Now, is there a discount if I just want these guns like in a paper bag or something?
No.
Oh, a greasy paper bag at that.
The cases are proprietary. You cannot order them separate items.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just, it's not for me. That wasn't me. That was someone in the chat that asked that.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
This one here, we mentioned a little bit. This is the Black Wall Street case. So when you open it, you get a brick wall with Black Wall.
This foam guy did serious.
Yeah, this guy is
take
crazy.
It took for design. We sat on the phone probably total hours in design, going back and forth. I'm gonna say probably about 8 to 10 hours.
God damn.
Discussing.
So how long is it going to take for him to do each one of these?
No, it's programmed now. Now it's
it's laser. This is laser engraved.
It goes.
Now this one actually does have a little bit of handwork to it. So this one is laser, probably about 90% laser, 10% hand. Like to get the destruction of this wall, that's all done by hand.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But yeah,
lasers are amazing.
Custom. And the great case company is Condition One. Condition One case.
I've heard of that company.
It's very good pricing, and you get all the bells and whistles that you need. Another thing about this foam too is it has no petroleum in it, so your guns don't sweat.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Ohio Wolverine says he wants a case with just a wall. It looks like his channel icon.
So here you'll have the gun sitting here. It clearly says the truth over here, and kind of like some graffiti text. Black Wall Street graffiti. You kind of get it. When you pick the gun up out of this one, it says, "Oh, gun laws are based in hatred and racism. Historical moments like Black Wall Street will expose the lies and make non-believers conform to the truth."
Okay.
You're telling the real story. Right? You're not just saying, oh, it's this. And when you pick this up, you layer down here, you're going to get all the stats of what happened.
Yeah, and each one of these cases, comes with there's a flashlight in there, I see.
Yep. Okay. So after you read that, then you'll have, obviously, this is where your magazines go, right? Here and here.
Okay.
Each gun will come, now that we got the cases out the way. Put this down.
Babyface, you better get up out of that video game.
I'm re-entering my password because I had to change it because I am not currently living in Indonesia, even though I had a password attempt from Indonesia.
Okay. Oh. That's not a good sign.
So I just updated my Google password.
Yeah. All right. So here goes the
each gun will come with a matching Cerakoted flashlight, which clearly you need to see the guns, but you're going to get an M-Force TFX with each order. All right, they're all going to come in the box. This one is color matched. So the first gun is the Truth C. This is the Truth C. So a little compact guy here. I'll try to get it close to the camera. You guys kind of got to guide me.
And these are built off of
the original platform before I remanufactured was a HK VP9 SK.
Okay. So that's the only platform we don't get to choose, like High Point or any other platform.
I'd like the new High Point, please, with the thumb safety.
Nah, we're not doing that right now. Yeah, so this is the Truth Seat. Now, this gun is going to have a couple of a lot of people are like, oh, it's okay, it's slide cutting, it's pretty, but no, everything is it's functional on the gun. So
this is subcompact, right?
Yeah, this is it's compact.
This is compact.
Oh, it's compact.
It's Glock 19.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay.
So this
one's ported.
Yeah. This is a pre-compensated one. Let's see what else about it. You can see the name of the gun is going to be on that side. It will. This is the prototype. It will say the Truth C. It'll be a small lowercase c on it for anybody that orders it. You can also get these in black, but some of the specs on the gun. Right now, this one has Trigicon HD sitting on top of it. But we're going to give these guys a run. It's a night vision.
Night vision.
I really like their stuff. I have it on one of my full-size HKs, so I'm going to run it on this guy. But the Trigicon HDs are some I had in the house, and they went well, so I like them for other stuff. We have the Lobos trigger in it. Lobos Industries trigger. Okay. They come with good triggers out the box, but this one is an improvement. As far as your mill work goes, a lot of people are like, okay, well, you just cut stuff out the side, and I'm going to lose a lot of my purchase points. You're actually not. So the weight reduction, we didn't have to mess with your internals at all. So we didn't goof with your internals. We cleaned them up a little bit, but nothing extreme that I can take credit for because we didn't take that much weight out of it. These slides are really bulky. You got a lot to play with. So when we took the weight out to add the window cuts and things like that, what we did was we went into the metal more. And so it's hard to see, but Hank, I know you actually touched it. Your serrations are like double the depth as they are out the box. All the way around the gun. So that's, I mean, you really got texturing on there. I had people literally running their slide just off of their jeans. That's how aggressive it is.
Okay.
So that's that aggression. Then you have these 3 dots here. And I don't force anything on anybody, but when you go through the name of No Other Choice, the 3 dots, you know, no other choice, extending God's grace and mercy before you ever place a negative impact on a human life. So the 3 dots represent the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That's what those dots represent. So just making sure you're taking patience, but Jesus believed in violence too. So if you got to do something, you got to do it. Is what it is. Let's see. After the gun,
church of the gun right here.
I'm just saying, the stippling. We brought it all the way up. A lot of people were concerned, and trying to make sure I'm holding it right on the camera there. A lot of people were concerned because one of the great things about the original platform is that your panels here are you know, or your mods, you can take them off, take the squirrels off, take the panels off, and people are like, well, am I going to be able to do that? So the answer is yes. So not only is it fully stippled, your panels, your extra panels that come with it will be stippled as well. So you can swap them out. You're still going to get the same look. And your European mag release is also stippled for texture because I got tired of my thumbs over the years sliding off of them. When I go do a mag release, kind of hard to see there, but those are stippled as well.
Yeah. Tyven says he's a fan of safety triggers now. I don't remember when Tyven was not a fan of safety. Is this an all metal gun?
What?
It's polymer. No, it's a polymer lower.
All metal. No.
Oh,
no.
Okay. Just checking. Just checking for Tyven.
No.
I don't know.
I did not get that until just now.
I don't know if you did any additional testing in microwaves or anything like that.
No, I didn't.
Oh dear.
The one cool thing we
I'm
did
just messing with Tyven. I'm just messing with him.
The one cool thing we did add to it, if you look, you can see that front bevel there.
Yeah.
Right on the side.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right. That's not there just for looks. And people always say, oh, that's cool looking. Well, it's not just for looks. So in a lot of one-handed manipulations, if you watch enough training videos or done enough training with one hand, a lot of time guys will try to run their gun off whatever. If you don't have sights that you can use, got some low profile sights, guys will try to use the front of the barrel here. It's another option, right? But you all can also ding up your barrel. You know, if you mess that thing up bad enough, you know, you're going to be in trouble. So these here, although they look great, the function of them is catching the edge of something, getting that edge, and running your slide off of that edge. Right, so you can still do one-handed manipulation.
Psycho 316 says, does it take Glock mags?
Oh dear.
No, it does not.
This is not me. This is not me. This is the people.
The people's. So no, that's what this is what your combination will look like.
Yeah.
And you can also get them in all black.
Yeah. Maximus 2012 says hashtag burl.
Burl. It is
Burl. You got to get some burl there.
And then
Brick says, I like my VP9.
We can always do it up for you. Oh, and the big question is, can I send my existing platform in if I already have it? The answer is yes.
Oh, wow.
Even if it is a high point?
No.
No.
If it is a HKVP9 or HKVP9 SK. Not a P30.
If you get a high point and you etch it and it says HKVP9.
You can send it to me. You might not get it back.
Oh.
I can always use another gun. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
Why is it that people can only send you the HK?
Because that's what this is doing. We're messing with the HK platform. Now, here's the sexy beast that everybody that gravitates toward. So this is the full size. So this is the truth. The same, I'm not going to go over the same thing as on this gun, it's just in a bigger platform. Same trigger, same stippling reference points. This one does have the solid scope barrel in it. We have Heine suppressor height sights. I decided to go with the Vortex Venom on this one. This is a 6 MOA, not the 3. 6 MOA on that one. This one, obviously, with the threaded barrel, is not compensated.
Why do you still have that SHOT Show tag on there?
Because I told you, man, I threw these guns in the safe. I haven't even been down here since I got back. I do need to cut that off, though.
Yeah. And send that to someone. Someone out there can be the
Hell, I've had SHOT Show tags on all year. I figured I paid for those damn things. They're staying on.
It's missing something. I just can't quite put my finger on what, but there's something. There's something that needs. I can't quite put it.
Okay, that's a good question. If you have a suppressor, can you get your suppressor, Kevin, color coded?
Oh, I want it red and black.
If you have a can, we will do your can for you.
Oh, nice. That is sweet.
Yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you do it right there.
You have a can. So if you have a can and if you have the existing platform, you send it in, and your platform won't just come back like this. It'll come back in the case you choose and everything. Like it'll be
nice.
Like you
Shadow Smith says, I like how you left the Enforce logo visible. See, I'm not just reading the troll comments. I'm reading the nice ones.
I'm on it.
Yeah, I mean it fits. And these are great. They're great guys, man. And I like the product, and they're great people. So why not?
They were cool when I was hanging out in the booth. They were good people.
Yeah, good folks. So this is the gun. I went over all the mechanical aspects even on the last one. So they're all the same. This was just on a bigger form. Obviously, the threaded barrel, the suppressor height sights, and the Venom are going to make it stand out. Can you get a different cut? I'm gonna tell exclusively here on the with the Strangerholics. I'm gonna say all about what you can get. So can you get? You don't like Vortex, okay? You like your shield sight. Can you get your shield cut for this gun? The answer is yes. You like your Leopold. Can you get your Leopold cut? The answer is yes. You like your Burrs? Yes. Okay. You like your Holosun or your RMR, which take the same cut anyway. So can you get both of those? The answer is yes. Okay. And you're also going to get the matching plate with it as well. Okay. So you can get it out. Can you get it without the optic cut, all black? Yes. There are going to be other options you can get.
Yeah. Haywood Jablomi says, KD will do my can.
What's the name?
We're not laughing at you, Kevin.
No, what's the name? I want to hear it.
Haywood Jablomi.
Haywood Jablomi.
Last name Jablomi, first name H.
I can't say it again. With a straight face. Haywood. If the first name is Haywood, the last name is Jablomi. Haywood Jablomi. Says Katie will do my can ?
Your I don't even know how to answer that. The mechanical one that goes on the front of a actual firearm. Yes, I was about to say gun, and I felt that one coming.
Oh man,
what do you say? Can you demo that light again? How does the switch work? Oh,
it's an inward switch, and they're fantastic.
Yeah, this is just simple. Just that.
I have a Surefire on this one, and so for anybody that doesn't know, you press either forward or you twist it to actuate it. I like the way Enforce does theirs better, where you naturally where your fingers sit, you step in.
Yeah, because some people have to press down, like you have to press down with your finger, or
and it's my finger is on my Glock 19. It's just barely long enough to hit the Surefire, but I like the Enforce, the way Enforce does it.
Yeah, it's cool light, and so yeah, you can get all those cut options. Now here's the thing, this is a lot of guys are like 1975 is just too ridiculous for that gun. Okay, dude, all right, fine. Yeah. One thing I didn't get to say is this is the one that is the most expensive, minus this light. and minus this optic, I am sending you a free flashlight. Hush it. All right. And on top of that, this is the option that is the most expensive. Now, if you buy this option, this one, here are things you get that people should have gave me a chance to say. One, you get a free $200 training credit with no other choice.
Ooh.
Right. So $200 right out the way. So if that $200 can go, it can pay for a full class, or you can decide that you want to apply it toward, say, a vehicle class or something like that, and you can apply it toward that. It's also transferable. So if you want to gift that training certificate to somebody else, you can gift it. Okay.
Very cool.
You get the flashlight, and you're gonna get access to a private
Nightmare 03 says, KD, just take my money already.
Good. See. And you're gonna get access to a series of training videos online that nobody else has access to. And you're going to get a personal. Every gun is going to come with a personal message. Like I'm going to talk to you directly on a video. Yeah. So I think $19.75, a $200 training credit, a personal library of training videos, a transferable training credit for the most expensive option we have, I think is pretty damn fair.
Yeah. Richard Hughes says he has tears in his eyes, and Pebble just fell over in the cage. I'm adding that one. I'm adding that one. Marvin Paja says, tell KD, I think those guns are beautiful. I also like the Christian reference. I'm also a Christian. Thanks to all of you guys for being a voice for the 2A.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Who does the stippling on it? Okay,
so awesome. The stippling and Cerakote work were done by, everybody get ready, write this down for you can go follow them. MLS Customs.
MLS Customs.
Yep, MLS Customs did the stippling work in the Cerakote.
Yeah, he doesn't actually have MLS or anything like that, right?
No.
Oh God.
So the guy that did that did this stippling and this Cerakote is the same guy that actually did the stippling work on the Advocate as well.
It looks
awesome.
Like it looks
Maximus
really
2012 wants to know, what does the money go towards for this?
Oh, I'm sorry. And what does the money go towards?
Yeah.
Is there any? I think he's asking, is there any sort of like charitable
charity? Yeah. All right. So good. Yeah. Okay. Good question. And 10% of the proceeds from this gun, of my personal proceeds, which is not a lot, but 10% of it goes right back into Aiming for the Truth.
Cool.
So you're making a donation, you're getting training, you're getting a collectible box, an awesome damn gun, a private library of videos. I don't know what else.
Sorry, hold on one second. I got some comments here. Psycho 316 says, "That's ALS, Hank, you goofy goober."
Yeah, yeah.
And Tim says, "I started saving my pennies as soon as I saw this the first time." That's cool.
They're pretty awesome.
Yeah. Richard Hughes says it looks fantastic. And then Brick said something about this earlier. Oh, Brian Quick says people want Gucci, but not the Gucci price.
That's exactly it. You really get, when you buy something like this, I really think you get what you pay for. But most people don't want to pay the price tag.
Yes. And Brick says, as my grandma would say, boy, you got champagne taste with Pepsi Cola money.
That's exactly right.
And go take a look at any of the custom shop guns out there,
Yeah.
Well, you know what? While I started talking to guys just from a consumer standpoint, I was like, it's funny because one of the dudes that tried to rag me about the price, I just happened. I don't know what something said. Hey, click his IG profile. I clicked his IG profile, went like 5 pictures down. It's him, I'm assuming, holding his salient Glock.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. How much is that thing? If you
you got a full Zev Glock. Come on.
Okay, you can get a Zev Glock, but a salient. The only person I know that has one is, guess who?
Jesse James.
There you go, Jesse. Jesse has one.
And I'm telling people, and I'm shipping you, and just, I know it's not the world to everybody, but literally to just give you one of these things that's Cerakoted to match your gun. So if you order all black one, it's gonna be black. If you get this scheme, it's gonna like, you're throwing in a free 700 lumen flashlight, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff getting thrown in here.
Yeah.
So there are people who are gonna complain because they want to complain, but I'm like, hey man, if you really look, and it takes simple math, look at what an HK costs out the box, and just go add the stuff up yourself.
With a freaking Silencerco barrel, threaded barrel, and all that. There's a lot of stuff on this.
Speaking of that, I went on their website today. They said they're having a sale, right? Silencerco. I went over there, $200 something for a Glock barrel. I'm like, Holy,
that's on sale. That's on sale. That's on sale, Walter.
It's I think it's $150 on sale right now.
I think I'm going to Bear Creek Arsenal and go for a lot less.
Did you? Yeah, Bear Creek has it for like $49.95.
Yeah, and it goes bang the same.
Hey,
Shadow Smith wants to see the other gun again, Kevin.
Okay. Oh, another thing about them too, and I know if you guys get real technical, so I'll show you. You actually have your rip spots here. So if you look right there, they're custom made for you can get your mags out.
Wow,
that is not a mag well. That is custom cut into the gun.
God damn.
So keep talking to me about what ain't worth what. Like, okay.
No, it's a good. I think I'm seeing a lot of positive comments here. Maximus 2012 says this is going 2.0. What's up?
Can I throw this out real quick? His stipple job alone is $300. Just to get your frame stippled by this guy is $300.
Yeah, it's gonna be quality. Oh, before I forget too, the guy that did the framework, the actual machining, not the framework, sorry, the actual machining, that's J and L Machining. So like James and Larry Machining, and he did the machining work. And these guys, I think, did I mean.
So this is the C. This is the Truth C, right? That we're looking at.
This is the Truth C.
Okay, right. Tim Nottam is saying, where would a person go to order these?
So right now, the ordering site will be up. The pre-order site, because these come out officially in May. The pre-order site will be up in 2 weeks. If you want to do what I'm calling a super order, like I've had 3 people do already, you can just shoot me over your email at noccccw@gmail.com. I will shoot you an invoice, and if you make a deposit, you will be first in line to get them. And if you're part of the super pre-orders, you get your gun 2 weeks before the guns come out.
Okay, and if we get 10 people to say that they bought this because they saw it on the Hank Strange situation, can I get one of these guns
for free? Right?
You know what? I'll make. You know what, Hank? I'll make a deal with you, especially since you got the hookup down there with Walt getting guns. If we can get 10 people to buy it. And I'm going to be selling these for a while. If we get 10 people to actually use the code Hank in their order, I ain't giving you no money off. Just tell me what Hank sent you. If you get 10 people to tell me that Hank sent you, I'll tell you what I will do. You send me the platform, and I'll turn it into the truth for you.
Okay.
We got to send a Glock off.
No Glock. No Glock, baby face.
Okay, someone wants to know the email again, Kevin. I think we interrupted you with the email.
Oh, that's fine. It's NOC for no other choice. NOCCCW, like concealed carry weapon, at gmail.com.
Okay, one more time.
NOCCCW at gmail.com.
Awesome. There you go.
Yeah, what I'll basically do is just send you a link. Now, look, so another thing before people get to send the links, because I would ask too. They're like, what's my price? If you want these guns as seen, this one is minus the M-Force and minus obviously the red dot. But the gun minus those 2 options is going to be $19.75, and it comes with all the other stuff I said it comes with. If you order the M-Force Lite through us, that's fine. If you are going to send in your gun, all right, if you're going to send in your gun to me and you already have like your optic and say you have your M-Force Lite, send it in and it's all included to Cerakoted to match in the price. I won't charge you extra.
Psycho 316 says if Hank can get 10 people to buy it, Hank will get a special price of $22.50 for the one that is $17.
And then this guy here is oddly enough, man, I know people are going to be like, what kind of deal is that? Here's what's weird. You'll be surprised at just how similar these guns are. In size, it's kind of weird. It's not really that big of a difference. So this one is right about $100 cheaper for this one. And you don't have to get it compensated. If you don't want to compensate it, that's going to save you a few bucks if you just want it cut up. So there are going to be different price options. So if you're dropping money, you will have the option to tell me what you want. I just want you to know what your worst price point is.
Yeah. Boss Hog says my wife will be buying the truth for me because she has no other choice.
Marketing. But yeah, you're gonna
make sure she uses the code Hank, please.
Yeah, use the code Hank. Yeah, I think those bevels in the front is really classic. People have to give me more props for that.
And then we'll see how Walter, you be on the lookout for the cheapest HK BP9 you can get your hands on.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll sit in his office and make one.
No, I ain't got time for that.
That's a lot of work. There's a lot of work.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. Yeah,
there's a lot of work that goes into it.
Yeah, the guns are going to be solid. They're going to run for you. And you know what? Here's one other thing I want to say too. I know, and Hank, I appreciate you giving me a platform to talk about these. But here's something I want, guys, on a kind of, before we go, just everybody, even in the audience. Here's what I want you to realize, man. Understand that we are truly, truly, truly all in the same fight. We truly are. We're all in the same fight. That being said, think beyond even what you're seeing. When people try to divide us, and they happen to use in this particular conversation of division, race and guns, I want you to point this out to them. You need to be sharing the hell out of these guns, because there are 4 dudes that people will convince you shouldn't even own guns, or they don't think, like, well, Bloomberg, he doesn't think minorities should own guns. Like, that's actually a quote to do.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty
you know,
Bloomberg.
So it is now that you not only are Americans absorbing their right to own guns, you started making them, right? You need to look beyond just and that's a great conversation piece. Next somebody's well, what's happening over here to them people? You can be like, well, I happen to know 4 of those dudes that have guns. So if you don't know, Coleon's got the Advocate, Ken Scott's got the Prevectors Group Elite, both are made by Tier Defense. Maj just released his rifle with head down arms, the Solutionary Lifestyle rifle, and then this guy came out. The True Series came.
Where the hell's my gun, Walter? Come on.
Somebody told me to name one of these after you today.
Huh?
Don't you got a shotgun named after you?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
No, I've been trying to get the Hank.
You gotta wait till I get my laser, man.
I do have this 450 Bushmaster that Babyface P and I are building.
It looks terrible. It's not ready.
Yeah, we're
that's white. It's too white.
The handguard is not.
That's just too white.
I don't know why it was so funny hearing you say that.
What, it's too white?
I don't know.
Believe it or not, it's too white. I'm sorry.
That can be taken out of context. No, I don't have my own gun, Walter.
Wait till I get my laser.
There's no Hank out there, but that's cool. I'm still celebrating that other people have their guns.
When I get my laser, that thing will be covered with Hank's.
Maximus 2012 says the white guilt.
The white guilt. That's the name of the gun. Another thing we came out with too. Enforce. I have 3 variations of this coming with my guy 77 Solutions. Oh, I'm sorry, I would be deprived. He actually, what you can also order are these.
Oh, Suki. Oh, Suki. There's a holster.
Yep. Have the 2
okay, so Special K says Kevin can what is he? Hold on, I want to get this right.
Layaway.
Can I get it on layaway?
Well, when you put the deposit down, it's pretty much that. I'm basically telling people when you drop the money to get us started on your gun, it's 90 days to get it out. But look, I communicate. If life happens, dude, if it takes an extra couple of months, all you got to do is shoot me an email and say, hey, man, car broke down, whatever, and we'll extend it out for you. It's not that big of a deal. Once we get the deposit going, your gun's cut, is waiting on you. 90 days is, we don't want to store it forever, but if something happens, just let us know.
Yeah. And Average Joe says maybe ATI will make Hank a mini.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
We'll see. And then the Enforce lights
I get no respect.
So we actually also, with your Enforce light, if you choose to order one, you can get a holster.
Oh my God, a holster for your light too.
Oh, that's just too much.
Oh, this is just like ridiculously awesome.
Yeah.
Are these all thrown in, or are these extras?
Oh no, the holster's extra.
Oh, okay.
But you'll get a nice little discount if you order them. I'm just trying to I wanted to have it completely where you can walk out with an EDC kit, holster, flashlight, everything.
Oh, wait a minute. Where's your knife?
Yeah, see that's why I didn't put one in there, because
it's coming.
The moment I put this thing over the kit, even like with the holster, the knife, the flashlight, the gun, obviously, the magazines, everything, like you literally have an EDC kit. We weren't gonna be able to fit in this box all of it, but I was gonna put a separate box that came along with it with all your stuff. Yeah, even if we didn't take any profit from it, was gonna push this gun to about 27, right? So it's kind of like, if you can tell somebody at $2,700 price point, yeah, but dude, you're not going to need anything else, people are still going to be like, no. And I can vouch. Like, even me, when I was looking at the price, I was like, oh, okay, so what can we take off? Like,
okay.
That's just too much shock.
Yeah, so the Juice wants to know, Walter, the Juice has a question for you there.
I see that.
And then let's say the question is the SHTF 50 29-inch. How many rounds would you recommend changing the AR buffer spring?
You don't use the AR buffer.
You don't have a spring, yeah.
Yeah.
You take all that out.
He joke.
Yeah.
He said right below, a joke.
Oh, okay. Oh, you funny, Juice. You funny. No, I mean, I've had some people take an AR spring and cut it short and kind of like assist on the bolt, but you don't use it.
Okay. And Psycho 316 says, what about the knife? So is there a knife? Is there a knife?
Can I get you a knife? Yes. When I do all the promo, I'm going to show the knives, but once again, I'm gonna make it a la carte, dude, because I don't want to make people think I'm trying to get over them. But I would like you to have a kit. Now, if you order the knife, that's going to be another cool thing. Your knife, for a very minimal cost, we'll get your knife coated to match your gun.
Everybody's got different likes. Some people don't need a knife. Some people
that's the thing with knives. There's so many options and things like that for knives. So
yeah, and then that's a whole different world. I'm not a knife expert. You know, actually, I kind of have a healthy fear of them damn things. So it's kind of like, you know, I was gonna put, you know, I was gonna go with a cold steel triple lock system, one of the little micro T knives. Got the nice little lock, triple lock system, so you can't like puncture yourself. And then knife dudes, my knife friends were like, "Why that one?" I'm like, "Well, because of this. It's small, it works. It's, you know, it's got the lock system." And then they got to talking blades and folds to me, and I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah.
You gotta. There's two options. Let me see. Where's the other one I showed Hank today on knives?
A dull one or a sharp one? That's
you got your money in one side and your utility. Oh, wait.
Razor knife. Your hijacking knife on the other.
On the other side. That's it.
No, are you really walking around with a box cutter?
Oh hell yeah! Have you ever tried to open mail with an expensive knife?
Yeah, I do it every day.
Dolls that shit out way too fast.
Yeah, in case you've never met Babyface, he is ghetto. He is ghetto AF.
Look at that! Look how awesome that is. Oh yes. And then when it goes dull, you just buy a pack of these things from Home Depot. It's great.
Yeah, he's that Tampa ghetto.
That's the name of it. I should engrave it on the back when Walter gets his laser engraver.
I had an idea for that stuff.
I'm gonna call it the hijacker on the back.
Oh man, I had that same idea. It's not very it's not very politically correct, but I did have it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think knives, dude. I tell people all the time, I carry a gun because knives exist.
Well, yeah.
Knives are a whole different man.
Knives a tool for me, so
but the dudes that can really, I mean, you ever seen the wounds a knife causes?
Oh yeah,
like man, like
dude. That's close up work. That's close up work.
Yeah, it
is. People don't understand. Somebody can close a distance on you with a knife in like 2 seconds flat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So, not to change the subject, I'm going to show this. I'll probably show it tomorrow since Kevin, you know, we got into lots of good stuff with Kevin. But look, 365 here for testing. It's still in that packaging, still in the packaging. I'm going to open that up. Take a look at it here. Look at that. Minty fresh. Look, you can still see the oil. You can still see the oil. We need to have
dueling. We got to go akimbo style.
And Harry's holsters. What? Harry's holsters right in here already. Already got a Harry's holsters rocking with it. Very nice, very nice. I think Lola had pictures of this up on the internet. So,
hey, Babyface, what do you think of that Instagram post I sent you?
I just shared it on 4chan because people I think are gonna love it. Should I show it off to the camera?
I laughed my ass off. Yeah.
What is it? Hold on, let me
drawing. And I'll give you the quote before I show the picture. The quote from the drawing on Instagram is Ian from Forgotten Weapons is my waifu. And
what? Crack the phone up, son.
Hold on. It'll adjust. It'll adjust.
I saw it. And I before I knew what it was, I knew who it was.
Oh boy.
So this is
is a patch or a sticker or something.
This is from Muffin_Puncher_9000 on Instagram. Let me get
Oh man, I tell you what.
It's
get ready for that cease and desist.
Oh my god,
question for the crowd. What weapon is what firearm is that?
Is that I don't know. I gotta hold it back up. Hold on.
I know what it is.
Again. Let me see. What is it?
It's not a Lottie, is it?
No.
It's not a Lottie? Is it a what?
Begins with an S.
I have no idea.
It's a Solitern.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the person who drew that has skills.
Oh hell yeah, that is fantastic.
Yeah, that's some really good pinup skills.
But before I even read the thing, I said that's Ian.
Yeah, I saw the picture when you sent it to me. I saw it. I was like, "What is what?"
Because I haven't been on in a while. I got to show off 2 guns. I'm really excited about having.
Okay,
you probably won't be excited about, but I've been wanting one of these damn things for forever, and I finally caught one.
Oh, fantastic!
Oh,
yeah, man.
Fantastic.
Which one is it? Which one is it? Is it 40?
This is the Glock 17 one. The
Glock 17.
Glock 17 Max. Well, no, Glock 19. I'm sorry.
Glock 19.
Max. Yeah. So this I was excited about. I was like, oh man. And look, when it came in, I was like, because I talked to dudes at Caltech. I'm like, I will buy it, man. Just tell me where the hell it's at. All right. Oh, they're everywhere. No, they're not. So I'm telling you that. They're not everywhere, but yeah, this little guy I've been waiting on, and then this guy is becoming one of my favorites altogether.
FN?
Oh, it's the
Canic.
Canic. Oh, the Canic.
Yeah, man.
Is this the TP9? That's not the TP9SF, is it?
No, this is a Combat Elite.
Combat Elite. Combat Elite. Okay.
So this one's got the aluminum. Now, here's the thing. Salient. So this is the combination between Salient and Canic. So it's got the Salient barrel in it. Salient sights.
Oh, is that an octagonal barrel? No, it isn't, is it?
Using all those fancy
they cut it.
Okay. Yeah, it's fluted. Interesting. That was that's so that you can tighten. Interesting. Very nice.
Yeah,
wait a minute.
Walter's about to pull something out. And it's not the Jewish hammer.
What's that?
There we go.
I can't see.
His TP9?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just a straight up TP9 Elite.
TP9?
Yeah.
You know what? These TP9s are great guns, dude.
Yeah.
They're great guns.
And also very affordable. I don't know what that version.
So here's the thing: the Salient barrel, you get the custom sights, the Armory cut. You know, you get the aluminum flat face trigger. That's actually Canic's trigger. It's not Salient's trigger. It's actually Canic's trigger. You get the extended mag release. You also get the little like on a TP9 SFX, the little charging handle. You get that guy that goes on a place in the Armory cut. And you get the mag wheel. This thing is MSRP, I think is $850, but you can find them all day long for like $100 less than that. I'm like, that's pretty freaking good, man. It's pretty good.
It is. Very good. Very good. I don't know if anyone has any other guns. Walter, what are you throwing up here?
Well, that's the Canic.
That's the Canic.
TP9 SF Elite. Boom.
Yeah, very, very cool. I also have here, this is a Remington 700. That I borrowed from someone. Yeah. Whoever this is definitely smokes while they're hunting.
Does not smell good.
Yeah, I guess that that's too.
Well, if you keep it in a room where you're smoking too,
that also does something. And the reason.
So at first, before you keep going, Hank, at first I thought, oh, this is kind of trashy. It smells like smoke. But if it's in like a man cave where you smoke cigars, that's actually kind of fancy. But I doubt it is. I doubt that's the case.
Yeah, but thank you to whoever lent it to me. And here's the reason why I have it, because Elftman has their the 700 trigger. What is it called? The Elf 700 SE. So there you go. So that is a drop-in Elftman trigger.
You got that stock handy?
Oh, the stock. Yes. Hold on. Where is the stock?
Because we're past 9 o'clock, by the way, too.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not right here. I can show it to you afterwards if you want to. Okay, so let's wrap it up. It's past 9. We got to wrap it up. Kevin, that was awesome. The gun is awesome. I suggest anyone out there planning on buying the gun, use the code Hank. If we get 10 people buying it using that code, then Kevin will give us the treatment to the gun. I guess we supply the gun. If we get 20 people, then can we get? You
get 20. I can probably find you. I can go get one out the police locker and hook you up.
Oh, there you go.
I'm gonna send it. Hank's gonna send the gun to KD, and it's gonna come back with like red spray paint, just sit right back in a cardboard box.
Sharpie.
Yeah, Sharpie on the side.
Why are you giving him ideas? Okay, Kevin will make a video out of it and send it back to me.
Silver Sharpie, you can get it in Walmart.
Yeah.
I'll call yours the lie.
Yeah, the lie. Oh,
That's right.
Lie.
That's right. Named after Hank.
The lie.
Special. I will cherish it. I will frame that. I will frame that. That'll be a one of a kind.
The lie.
I will frame that bad boy up. No, the guns are both very cool, man. Congratulations on that. A lot. I know you put a lot of work into it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. And anyone who wants to check it out, there's a video on YouTube. You guys could go check it out. So let's see. We should probably wrap it up here. Babyface, what do you have going on?
I am waiting on an order to come in, and I'm going to start a new project. I have a Glock 19 frame coming in that is Gen 3, and I want to make a Roland special, so I'm making a Roland special.
Okay, very cool. Very cool.
So it's going to be a couple months because Roland specials are expensive, but I've always wanted one, so I'm going to try making it.
Okay, cool. Walter, what's going on with you, my friend?
Well, it's post-shot. Got back from the SHOT Show. We were just kind of getting a feel for what we need to make as far as stocks go. Got a bunch of things we got to make because I think a bunch of people want stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And no one asked you if you bought anything from SHOT Show. That's an interesting question.
You can't buy anything at SHOT Show. Don't ask that question.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you mean you can order things? Yes.
Yeah.
One thing we
Did
didn't
you
bring
order
up
something that you didn't buy at the show?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I something I found that was really cool. There's a company in Florida here. I forget the name because I don't have the card right in front of me here, but they're making an AK-47 22 caliber conversion kit. And
that is awesome.
I think it's going to run full auto.
You have to have I think I've seen that where you have to put a barrel liner in. That
it has basically its own barrel extension.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay. So yeah, but they say it works, and they say it will run with full auto with a slight modification. So
fully automatic.
Yes, we're going to have to
buy two.
Since purchasing of things is prohibited at the SHOT Show, I told him to call me when he has them in stock, and I'll place an order for one. So. But yeah, and Instagram, Facebook, keep an eye on things. We're posting stuff. I started a shitstorm today on the Streetbog Facebook users group thing. I asked which is the gun, the lower or the upper on a Streetbog, and they got into a shitstorm of a fight over it.
What's the answer?
It's the lower, I think.
Oh, okay, all right.
Because we're gonna make something. A clock lower for the Streetbog. So
nice. Yeah. So, okay.
Anyways,
very cool. Yeah, we'll have Walter on. I'm sure. We'll be able to get in deep into stuff. And Kevin, thanks for coming on, man. Any last minute pitches you want to give out there before we get out of here?
Yep. So I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna say his name because he might not want everybody to know. But he's watched 2 shows. I did one with Tactical Shit, and I did your interview. And now, apparently, he's watched tonight. So I just got this email where he has pre-ordered his Truth. So, Hank, I think we'll give you half of one. I think we'll give you
half of one. No. If he uses code Hank, he uses code
Hank. He did.
That's 1/10 of one.
Oh, if he used code Hank, then it's official. That's one.
Brought it up.
Yeah,
so
that's one.
That's a 10th. That's a 10th of a gun.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So just keep going out there, people. Keep using that code.
So what I'm going to do for him, because I know he's watching. I know that I threw in a lot. This might not be a change of the world, man, but I actually have some exclusive not those. I have a couple of hats that I'm going to be I'll throw in for you. Get you a little swag to go with your gun.
Sweet.
So
Very cool.
So thank you, and I will send that to you tonight. As far as things going on, obviously we have the Truth. You can definitely pre-order it. I will be putting out a lot of information and some of the cool gun guy stuff too, guys. I'm not just always going to talk about the great story of the case. You're going to see that, but you want to see the guns get shot. You want to see them, and you're going to see them. So I'll be obviously pushing that real hard. It's the first time I've manufactured a gun, so I'm learning. It's fun. I like to learn new things, so it's going to be interesting. What else we got going on? We'll be taking a couple of interesting trips this year. Big thing, a Memorial Day weekend of 2019. Hank, I would like for you to make it up here, by the way, for this. Memorial Day weekend right outside of St. Louis, Missouri. I'm having the NOC Train and Learn event, industry event. So what it basically is, there are a lot of people that want to do various things when it comes to rights altogether, whether they're doing media, blogging, YouTube, an instructor, a reviewer. It's just various areas. And I know me and a couple of buddies were just getting blasted with emails and messages, and you want to respond, but you can't always respond and give. And I'm pretty sure you get them too. Like, hey man, I want to do this thing. How do I get started? And you're like, you want to help, but you're depriving people with the quick 1-sentence answers, right? Because you know, you really can't get in there. So I decided what I wanted to do. It doesn't matter if you were super duper popular or if you're somebody that's just starting off with 2 followers. But if your mission is to help people understand, no matter how you do that, and you want to have a public, I guess, or behind the scenes appearance and help out in the industry, I want to help you do that. So what we're going to do Memorial Day weekend, the 24th through the 26th, where you can get home for the holiday on the 27th, is we're going to have the NOC Train and Learn Industry event. And all you guys should come. Babyface, well, all you guys should come. But this event is going to be toward Friday. We're going to do workshops. So it's going to be workshops like how to build your brand, what is social media and how to manage it, how do you take conflict and flip it and use it for positive energy, approaching companies about sponsorships deals, evaluating your worth, how to be an activist, how to speak. It's going to be a lot of different things. And I'm not presenting all the information. I'm bringing in guys that know these things. We're going to do those 4 or 5 workshops. And then Saturday, we're going to run a pistol class with Ken Scott from Provectus Group. We're going to get up. We are going to be shooting from 7 a.m. to about 7 p.m. We're going to start off with a pistol class, and in the middle of the day, we're going to take a decent break. We're going to come back and do a vehicle tactics anti-carjacking course. After we do that, behind us, about 70 yards off the range, will be a fresh hog that was slaughtered that morning that will be being roasted.
I was going to say, there's going to be some barbecue.
Yeah, we're going to feed you, you know, fresh pig. You're going to go over there and watch the pig. You're going to slice it right off of them. And then we'll have options for people that don't enjoy the pig. You know, we'll have other options. But we're going to eat next to a creek, nice little bonfire. If the weather permits, it might be about 70 degrees. So have a nice little bonfire, just break bread. The next day, get up and have a collaboration day where people from across the country can do collaboration videos together on the range or do interviews and that kind of stuff. And then we're going to leave. And that entire weekend, including the 2 training classes, the 5 workshops, the food, the whole 9 yards, that entire weekend is $150.
Okay. That's not bad. Okay.
Yeah. And that's just covering, you know, before we can put it on. So we're trying to get everybody up. And it doesn't matter if you're a Walt or a Babyface or a Hank, where you're used to being on camera and you're used to talking and people know who you are, or you're just a dude with like literally like 10 followers. You're putting up posts. You're trying to get some traction. I want to see everybody making it. If I can put you in a room with people that know how to help you, I want to do that. But you have to make the $150 investment in yourself too.
Oh, okay.
Information.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, we'll have you come back on and talk about that as it approaches. I can't make any promises for my schedule.
Get you.
You know, I mean, you know, Lola's the boss of that.
Babyface need to come up here because Babyface owe me a trigger job.
That's right. That is right.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else.
No, I got the tools downstairs. I'm ready next time I come up.
Yeah,
if I come up, or you can come down to Gainesville and you know.
Yeah, that's true.
So listen, we got to wrap it up. I don't know if you saw Lola walking around here in the back. Yeah, with no respect to the fact that we're doing the show, or with a total disrespect deliberately. But anyway, no, that okay. So by the way, before I go, I want to thank Walter and Babyface, and of course Kevin, for coming on and showing us the truth. And anyone who's following Lola on her social media, go out there and wish her a happy birthday, because in a few hours she will be officially 56 years old. So go wish her a happy birthday on her social medias. So I think that's it. Anyone else has anything to say before I hit the button?
No. Peace. Good night. Remember to love your fellow brother, no matter what his skin tone is, what his opinion is. Think outside of yourself. Embrace America, so we can make it a better place.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. Well said. We're out of here.